live.
Hello, us, future us.
I have to say all
viewers.
the wordy nerds. Just kidding.
Wordy nerds. Okay, so last couple sessions, guys, Nemo discovered some connections of the notorious Painters Guild, a group of assassins, a guild of assassins that a flower shop owner seemed very wary of, one that Nemo met. This Painters Guild was supposedly located within the Pleasure House in the north of the Penice Ward. After getting into fights at the underground, Nemo recognized one of Atol's killers, Maeve. After following her home, he gets found out while invisible by a new addition to the assassins group, a mage they hired called Cook. And Nemo discovers her name to be Safrina after a little period of interaction, and she falls for Nemo, inviting him on a date to the Gambler's Den after a little bit of a fiery first date. And this gambling den called Fortune's Favor is where he's to have a date with her 2 days hence. It's located in Renegro, so that's something that you're going to be meeting up with her for at some point. Inala researches and speaks with Ririn Grenshard, her dad, discovering that the king's name is Zendra, a daughter of the Ruthen province high prince. And she discovers that her father began working for the king after he was freed. He stole an artifact of Xian Wei's from the Chagaran family that was supposed to go to the king, but decided not to do so because it was a dangerous artifact and gave it to Narcissus for safekeeping instead. He also took your family, moved you guys somewhere secret, and hadn't been found out until recently, as she's been tracking him for a while now. Her father forces her to promise to not seek out the king because she is too powerful. And Inala agrees. Kanari speaks with Jenyan, her old friend, and her friend, in a misguided attempt to protect Kanari, breaks off their friendship to free her of him.
No, he doesn't. It's fake. It's just fake, okay? It's not real. It can't hurt you. Dream Jenyan can't hurt you. Fine.
And then Korhale speaks with her old friend, Trig Wolfchaser, and discovering the poisoned soulscape of her friend at the same time, this poisoned soulscape poisoning her own soul a little bit. And she speaks with her old friend Trig. She speaks with him anyway, after fighting through some of the Chindi spectral apparitions within the soulscape, and Trig ends up explaining to her what's been going on with Vidar recently, that they've been carrying out raids for the Kellen authorities in exchange for peace with the Talai tribes. Something that's been going on even into Hakon, Karhale's father's own reign as chief. And Trig and she argue and explain different goings on, and Trig reminds her that she is to return home one day and to set the tribe to rights. We begin our session with some time lapse as we conduct some roles for Karhale and brewing Wolf's Hyssop. I don't know what it is with your name, jumping into random parts of my speech. Anyway, and Kanari in training at the Skull Monastery. Nemo goes about the city looking for different things, and Inala conducts some more research as well as looking throughout the city for different things. So, as we begin, let's go with Karhale. We'll get these roles out of the way real quick. And actually, more of some general roles, and then we'll get down to like what's actually going on. So Kanari, as you seek out the monastery and you convince them to train you and work on training further, and Karhale, as you guys start up with Wolf Hyssop, and then Inala and Nemo, I'm going to ask you guys for 2 separate roles, as during this time-lapse scenario right now, and you guys conducting your own research and your own busy schedules or whatever, you guys are also going to be attacked by assassins periodically throughout the week because people are just coming for you guys. Now, they're not super strong, so I'm not going to...
Can it be on our cruise?
It's not going to be...
Our cruise? They're water assassins?
Your cruise?
We're going on a cruise.
I thought you were sirens. A bunch of sirens.
This is very much waterlocked. But if you guys, you are very much landlocked presently. But
guys, we're on a sandbar in the middle of the ocean. I don't know how we didn't notice, but you guys can get anywhere without going in the
water. What's it called? So random assassins are going to be popping out of the woodwork as you guys are going about your business and everything. And Karahale won't be able to engage, and so it's going to be purely Inala, Nemo, and Kanari that are able to kind of fight off these assassins as they come to and fro. So we're just going to get a couple rolls from you guys as to how those encounters go. None of them are powerful enough, though, to kill you guys. These are like low-level assassins and not worth actually putting aside the time to look into what goes down, basically. So in essence, it'll be more, the consequence of losing will be more like you guys lose some stuff rather than you die kind of thing. Kanari, what were you going to say?
If I'm spending most of my time in the monastery, would they go to the monastery to attack me?
This is more so going to be in the middle of the night when you guys come back, unless you're staying out. If you're staying out, then that'll change things, and you will not be attacked.
Kanari wouldn't want to sleep in the monastery.
Wouldn't I be sleeping in the same room as them?
In theory, you would be sleeping. I thought you told me that you'd basically be sleeping alongside your potion, like waiting for it to.
I kind of like intended to.
In essence, though, whether or not you're sleeping up in the room or along with your potion stuff, you'll be attacked as well. But I would say that Inala and Nemo, you would probably have them at they'll be the ones taking the brunt of these attacks. So if someone's going to come and attack you, Inala or Nemo would probably step in theory, is my thought in the overview of these encounters.
Yeah, just go for it.
Inala and Nemo, go ahead and give me either whatever attack rolls that you guys make with your regularly used weapons. Nemo will give me a charisma magical check, basically.
A charisma
and
magical.
If you guys fail, that means Karhale and Kanari, it doesn't mean you lose stuff, sorry. What it means is that Karhale and Kanari's work will be affected in the sense of they will have to help out in fighting these creatures.
No pressure.
So this is like a charisma saving throw kind of thing?
No, this is just a check. So if you guys make the check, and if you guys beat my rolls.
So what am I rolling? Because I'm not doing the same thing as him.
And then the first couple days that Karhale is brewing, you go ahead and just roll me to attack with your crossbow, in essence. So roll to hit with your crossbow, and then Nemo roll a magical attack with your magical attack
bonus.
Bonus, thank you.
Oh!
If you guys fail, Karhale and Kanari will have to take a pause in their work and step aside to actually fight.
Inspiration, please.
Okay, take your inspiration, erase the inspiration.
What?
And
so
you can
what is
reroll.
This doing? This isn't like
in essence,
their
as you
time?
guys are like getting up for coffee one day, or you guys are going down to bed and everything, an assassin pops out and is like, "Ha!" and like goes to stab you, Nemo, but you used magic to like block it or whatever before it comes into play of more danger and everything. Kanari, are you actually going to be around, or are you going to stay at the monastery? Because you would have to.
She wouldn't want to sleep at the monastery, probably. Like,
yeah, bad memories. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. So in
but I'm
essence,
saying, what are the negative effects of this? It's just slowing down.
it'll
There's not any
negatively affect Kanari and Karhale because they'll just have to step in.
It will negatively affect the potion that I'm spending 2 weeks on.
And Kanari's just trading since she's focused and
So
her
it's
like
not
mind
worth an
is
inspiration, is what you're saying.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
It's also very, very expensive.
It'll just
very
hurt both of their
ingredients.
efforts. Just a little bit. It won't hurt that much because it's like over a period of time. So this is like multiple different instances of like, oh, it's an assassin, ha, and everything. And then you guys are like, no, and you shoot an arrow into a net or something and all that. And then Nemo's like magically frozen and like throws them out of the way or something like that. Like it's just different encounters that are happening over a period of time.
Okay.
So Inala, what was your roll?
16.
16. Very good. And okay, so that one, Inala, there's 3 different assassins that you take care of. There's one that comes at you guys in the middle of the night, and Karhala is just getting back as she's kind of swooning her way for her 4-hour tiny bit of sleep that she's doing so as she can push through for these brewing spells of brewing the potions and whatnot. And as she's stumbling up the steps, you see someone as you kind of like open the door to come out, maybe just to greet her, maybe just to get some water or something. You see this person creeping up behind her, and so Karhale doesn't have the time of day to actually pay attention to what's going on around her because she's focused. So you pull out an arrow, you shoot this person in the head, they roll down the stairs, and you guys are like, that's cool. And you guys go back to bed, and no one seems to bother you. It's just that one dude.
Harley,
And
in the
a
morning,
normal
her
night
back,
in my
she
life.
just keeps
A
walking.
normal night. There's another night in Nala where an assassin's trying to climb through the window as Karhali is waking up and going about her business to get to her brewing situation, and you and as this window is being creaked open and everything. You just go over, shut the window, and the person falls down off the side of the building. And so
Is this
a
just
third encounter.
Adventures in Anala, baby?
Adventures in
It's a
Anala.
normal
Yeah,
day in her
and so
life.
then,
This is nothing
as
out of the
Anala's going out for
ordinary.
research again,
I
and she's passing through the
constantly-
kitchen to say goodbye to Karhale one of the days. Karhale has brought like a mug of something steaming from the chef kind of thing, but as it passes by your nose, Anala, you smell something and you recognize it as an old poison that your dad used to show you back when at home, and you're like, no, Karhale, don't drink that. And you dump it down the sink, and Karhale's not poisoned. You later discover that there was
You're
someone
welcome.
who had snuck into the kitchen, poisoned one of the tea bags that Karhale was using for tea periodically throughout her time there. And you tell the chef, don't let anyone into the stores. That's dangerous. And the chef tells you, you're right. I will lock my stores from now on. So Nima, what was your role?
An 11.
An 11. Okay.
Friendly neighborhood.
So,
knowledge.
As Kanari is coming back from training one of the days and everything, you see her. You're coming back from whatever you've been up to these past days too, and in seeing her at a distance, you're like, oh, it's Kanari, and you go to kind of like collide in her walking back to the inn and everything, and then you see someone from high above sitting in the rafters of some not rafters, but on top of the roof of one of the houses that she's passing by, and someone's about to drop something on top of her head as she's walking past, very cartoon vibes, and you use magic to make whatever it is, it was like a potted plant of some sort, shift over to the side and crash into the ground next to her, into the tiles that she's walking on next to her, and she like pauses, looks back, and keeps moving and ignores it as she goes. Another encounter. That one you assuage easily. There's a second time where she is coming back for sleep in the middle of the night, and you're already in bed, and she's coming up the stairs. In a similar way, someone is creeping up the stairs behind her, and as she notices this, and she turns to hit it before you get the chance to do any kind of magical thing, she knocks the person down the stairs, and she broke her concentration on all of the things that she's been learning that week, and it affects her negatively. And you're like, darn, she worked too fast. She was just too good, and you couldn't have done anything. And you go back to your business because she could take care of herself. And then a separate time, a similar scenario where you see someone creeping up on her from an alley about to burst out, and she whips out a kick, smashes the person to the side of a building, and they crumple to the ground. She keeps on moving without being affected whatsoever. And you're like, wow, I just can't really help her out. She's just too great. But Kanari is periodically distracted throughout her off times where she should be just resting and not having to focus on defending herself in this scenario. Okay, so Kanari, you will have a bit of a negative effect on your rolls, but not that much. It's nothing crazy. These aren't super strong assassins or anything, but they're popping out of the woodwork here and there, and it's very annoying. It's like swatting flies when you don't really have to be worrying about that. Okay,
Better
so
you than me. The DC on my stuff is very high. So better you
Karhale,
than me. Is all I'm gonna say.
that's fair. Canaries aren't that bad. So Kanari and Karhale, as your guys' first stages of your guys' training / potions, respectively, go ahead, Karhale, in your setup of preparing all of your ingredients for addition into the potion. Give me a DC, and I already sent it to you what it was going to be, but I have it somewhere too.
You told me verbally. I didn't have it in writing.
Oh, okay. First check is going to be a DC 12 check for you, and for Kanari, it's going to be similar. If I can roll
Do I add
down.
medicine
Kanari,
to it?
First, you're going to have a DC 12 persuasion check as you're trying to get yourself ingratiated to the monastery. It's not necessarily that you fail the whole thing if you fail this check. It just means that the other checks are going to be a little bit harder now. So they'll let you in after some arguing, but if you don't have a good enough rapport, they won't want to help you as much, kind of thing.
Okay.
Karhale, DC 12 and Kanari DC 12. What kind of check do you add? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Do I add just like my proficiency bonus for the herbalism kit?
So for the preparation of the different stuff, it's going to be a dexterity check, as it'll be you cutting up the ingredients in the correct way, etc., etc.
Plus my proficiency bonus?
I would say sure, since you are proficient with the healing. Yeah, the medicine kit, which is what you'll be using for this. Kanari, what did you get?
I rolled a 17, so a 16.
Ooh, okay. So as you go to speak with the different the monks leading this monastery, and they call you to kind of, it's not necessarily their high council, but it's kind of their elders within the monastery. And as you tell them that you're on your Ziggurat and you're here to collect more knowledge from one of the lower monasteries, you talk so well, talking through the thing, taking kind of a cue from Nemo and clouding people and dodging the questions that you don't really want to be answering. But you kind of just talk them around, trying to ask specifics about where you're from or what monastery you came from, and you're very convincing. So they let you in with no questions asked, and you are set to train with one of the masters who's skilled in weapons, using weapons along with your guys' art. So Torgrin is going to be the master, and she is a very strong, very tough, dark-skinned lady, almost as tall as you, not quite, but she takes you into the class that she has with only 3 other individuals with open arms, in essence, though cold open arms, as a monastery monk would be. Karhale, yours was also a high roll, right?
No, that's why I was asking. I got a 13.
A 13.
I rolled a 9.
Close. That's stressful.
I mean, I have a point of inspiration, but I was hoping to save that for one of the higher DC rolls.
Yeah.
12.
But you pass still. And as there's a moment where you're chopping up ingredients and everything, and you accidentally knock the burner that's been set to boil, and it almost spills over your work, plausibly making everything a little bit less workable for the future of this potion. And yet you stop it before it falls, and you continue on, and you're like, that could have been bad, but it wasn't. Next roll then. So Kanari, that's going to be.
What did you say that their name was? Tor or something?
Torgrin.
Mm-hmm.
Torgryn.
I got that one right, actually.
Hey. So, Kanari, your next check as you start this class, and it is conducted over about 15 days, give or take. The first day, easy. Second day, easy. Up till the 5th day, things start getting a little bit more complicated as you guys are actually bringing in the katanas, the weapons that you guys are trying to train in and trying to learn how to meld into your own art. And as Torgrin starts leading you through the process of making it meld for you, you get stopped up because you've never really trained with weapons that were bladed before, and there's just something that's stopping you there. But as you fight through that, and you're focusing more so on how to use the blade to the best effect that you can, you get distracted actually throughout the few days that you are, because random assassins keep popping out of the woodwork and you can't focus as clearly on the wisdom you are using to try to figure it out. So this next check is going to be a dexterity check, which isn't so bad. No, it's not a dexterity check, it's a wisdom check, sorry. Like I just said, wisdom check, DC 16.
Ooh, okay.
You have a -1. He rolled pretty low, so it's going to be a -2 to your whatever you roll. Not disadvantage, just a -2.
I got a dirty 20, so 18.
Nice.
Nemo, you're gonna kill me.
Okay,
here. It's fine.
So
even
though people are flying in from the woodwork and everything, you still end up realizing how to use the blades to your best effect. And at a certain point, you even start using the blades against the assassins that are flying at you. And you're like, hey, it's actually starting to click. I get it. And you're getting more practice with it. Karhale, so for your second one, it's going to be DC 18 con save as you are brewing. And this, the sense
I like con saves.
Strength, yeah, the strength of the sense coming off of the different ingredients for this and being boiled together, it's a little bit it can make you dizzy and it can make you not quite think clearly. So this will be to kind of shake off the effects that wolf hyssop, the brewing of it, can cause for the brewer, basically, and the dangers of that. So DC 18, please. And as Karhale's been working, and she's been focusing and trying to shake off the effects and make sure that she gets strong rest, Anala is there shooting, making assassins fall away before Karhale even has to think about them. So you have no negative effects on this. 22. Beautiful. So you pass that check, flying colors as well.
We like con saves. Con saves are good. Con saves and strength saves are my favorite.
And
they're the only
now for the third check. As Karhale shakes off the effects like a champion, and she's like, these scents are nothing on the sense of the tribal warriors after they come back from a raid. So it's nothing big. For you, Karhale, going back to Karnari, your last check will be a DC 20 dexterity check, but it should be good. It should be fine in the sense that you're great at dex. So this could be either acrobatics skill or what's it called? Well, it could be your acrobatics skill. It'll basically be how well you are conducting yourself throughout this training, basically, and whether you succeed in the end in gaining proficiency with these blades as the person Torgrin is training you into.
I rolled a 23, so...
That's beautiful. And Kanari, flying colors throughout the entire training. Torgrin herself, very impressed by you, and actually comes to you after the fact. Since you passed all of these checks perfectly, she comes to you after the fact with an additional skill that she wants to teach you. So on top of the proficiency with your katanas now that you have, and you can use them as monk weapons for now, you'll also have proficiency with all finesse bladed weapons. You'll be able to apply them as you will.
Cool.
Similar to the katanas, but only finesse weapons.
Right. Okay.
And so beyond that, though, she teaches you, and this will be a bonus perk, and I'll text this to you, what exactly it is. But she gives you some training in extraordinary reflexes, something she's trained in herself. But basically, when a creature hits you with a melee attack, and you are wielding a monk weapon, you can use that weapon to defend yourself. So you can roll your martial arts die and take away. You'll roll your martial arts die, and that'll add to your AC for that roll. It's a reaction that you can use. So in essence, you get a shield ability, but you can only use that as many times as your wisdom modifier until per day. Yeah, equal to your wisdom modifier or your proficiency bonus, whichever is higher, and you gain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Whoa. Cool.
But yeah, so I will text that to you.
Thank you.
Okay, and so Karhale, so give me, ma'am, a DC 20
I know what this is.
medicine check, as far as I understand. Hold on, let me double check that.
Okay.
Yes, medicine check
Obviously.
DC 20 for finishing off the wolf hyssop potion, as the brewing itself has
Medicine?
tired you out, and you are on the edge of being able to really focus very clearly. Like when you've been spending so many days working so hard and everything, your brain is a little bit like, ooh, okay. So go ahead and give me DC 20. And you have no negative effects because Anala has defended you from the assassin. So you're good to go.
Okay, medicine check. I only have a +3, so I gotta roll a 17 or higher.
Yeah, you do.
No pressure.
Come on, baby.
I sent it to the group chat, Kanari.
Thank you.
I'm gonna use my point of inspiration.
Inspiration.
Because I only rolled a 15, so I'm gonna
Okay.
try it again.
Oh, good.
So you have a
Plus
plus
my
3, right?
Sorry, 21.
Yeah.
21.
I was like, that's not
18.
enough.
18
Stressed
plus
me
I
out.
rolled the 18
Yeah.
plus the medicine. 21.
Awesome.
Stressful.
So-
I'm good.
In putting together all
Goodbye,
the
point of
ingredients
inspiration.
and making sure everything is perfectly according to what the notes Lorkai has written down are, you realize at a certain point that one of the words in there had been misspelled, and it made you almost do one thing instead of doing the other, and you realize, oh, no, that's not what it's saying. It's saying to do this, and you do that instead, and don't mess up the potion. And you come out with
This is
a
fine.
perfectly finished wolf hyssop that is a somewhat green to beige hue, as it's kind of changing anytime you look at it and anytime the light shines on it. And it's quite beautiful. And as far as you understand, that's how it's supposed to look in the end. So, Kanari and Karhale, with successful 15 or 14 days of hard work, Karhale, you will start that day with the 15th of you will start that's when you get your thing back. When did you start working? You started on the 5th?
Let me consult my notes.
I think you started on the 5th. Yeah, the 5th being the night. So you started like that night. So you end about afternoon of the 18th, breathing hard after all of it's come to fruition. And so that's when you'll be coming out of your hard work stage. And we'll say, Kanari, about the same amount of time. The 18th is when you're finished as well. Okay. Yes. Okay, so in the meantime, Anala, Nemo, alongside ignoring or fighting or ignoring respective assassins as they pop out of the woodwork, you guys are also up to your own stuff. So, starting with Anala, you had some evidence that you're still going to be putting together, correct? And then there are some other things too that you were planning to do. What were the other things as well?
Hold on, let me check. I had them written down somewhere, I swear.
Oh, you're fine.
Hold on.
We can start with the evidences though,
Yes.
as that one I know for sure. And let me pull that. Okay. So the evidence itself in question is a pile of blackened pieces of paper, not completely destroyed by fire, saved from the fire, but still blackened at the edges, and some of it's really smudged in soot and stuff like that, as well as torn to pieces, and in a language you don't understand. So, multiple levels of figuring out the puzzle that is going to be this evidence against the Cien
You got
household
this.
and Lusitania. So, first off, how many days would you like to spend on it? Because the DC for this will lower the longer you spend. So, starting off, the DC is going to be 30. And per day that you spend on it, it'll go down. So how long do you want to spend on figuring out? So in essence, you're going to be figuring out what language it is, on top of putting together the puzzle pieces itself. So it'll be a dexterity check and then an investigation check. And we'll do a final wisdom check as kind of like your insight as to where it must go, the pieces and whatever. So we'll start with the dexterity though. And the DCs will be 3 separate ones. Let me write these down. But it'll lower based on how many days. So do you want to spend 10 days or so, give or take, on doing this? It'll lower the final DC to a 20, and any further DCs a little bit lower.
If it's going to lower it, then sure.
Okay. So for 10 of the 14 days that they're busy, you're going to be researching. And go ahead and give me first off, though, a dexterity check. And this will be kind of separate from the overall DC.
17.
Beautiful, beautiful. So as you're puzzling everything together, you don't rip anything further. You don't cause any more damage as you're putting it together.
Good job.
Next, we'll do the wisdom check first and do the investigation check last. So go ahead and give me an insight check as you're trying to just kind of understand what kind of makes sense in order based on the language you don't understand.
18.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So giving me the final check, this is going to be a DC 20 investigation check, which isn't going to be that hard for you. This
Don't
will
jinx
be yeah, okay, go ahead and give me the DC 20, please. And this will just be in translating. You've put it together where it's supposed to be, and you have the complete, basically you've realized it's a whole map, actually, set aside, burned to almost being unrecognizable, but you're starting to see where it's coming in, and the words written on it in small print is still in a language you don't understand, and this will be figuring out what it means and doing transcriptions based on books that you can find in the library as you come and go.
You jinxed it. It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's a good thing I have a +8 to my investigation. 12.
Yeah, a 12. Okay, so as you're going through trying to translate, you only translate a little bit of it. But you can try again with more time spent later, as you've done the first 2 steps of putting it together, and so you just need to translate it now. But the main thing that you actually can figure out going through the language that you can't understand, you realize that it's repeating a term that you can translate to resurrection. And that's all you can gather from what you have on these papers, on this giant map, actually. But it says resurrection, and you're assuming based on certain runes and magical looking symbols that it's a resurrection spell. But that's all you can gather from what's written there.
Liz, you wonderful angel.
The spell itself, or
You don't
just
hate us.
referring?
You're really not sure.
Okay.
If it's the spell itself, you're kind of confused because normally spell scrolls have a lot more symbols going on. As far as you understand, it's speaking of a resurrection spell. It's not the written version of the resurrection spell. Although, even if it were, none of your party knows how to cast a spell written in a wizard's kind of like written down for wizard, basically.
Cool.
But yes, so that's what you gather there.
Nice.
Coming to Nemo. What are you up to this week? I know you have Fortune's Favored Date night coming up, and you wanted to settle down with Atoll. So do you want to do the Atoll thing first?
Yes. We can do that.
Okay. So for Atoll coming up first, you are given a couple options from what Carhale had heard from the police officers from before, the crawler officers. And they had told her that there were 3 options. Either you could go to any temple and get an honorable burial for Atoll. And the honorable burial, you'll find out, consists of a procession throughout to the outskirts of the city where they end up setting up a pyre and letting her ashes be blown to the wind. There's also a more higher standing, more expensive version being the Relations Release, and that's a place that conducts pyre funerals on top of one of the towers, and then it's their ashes to be released into the winds and the sands of the Great Talon Desert. All of them, there's very burying is not really an option around, and then there's also Maine's Passing, which is a small privately owned funeral home that is they'll do actually any kind of burials. Like, it can be personalized. So if you have a different maybe not different religions, since they can't do that, but if you have a different process that you were raised with before coming to Tal, they are accepting of helping you do so. Relations Release. All of these options also include the keeping an urn of someone's ashes down below in the catacombs. But yeah, so that is also an effect. Where would you like to go to try to find a preservation spell? Because all of them would probably have some form of preservation function, just so that they can make sure a body is ready for the day that they want to have the funeral, rather than it decomposing before then.
Yeah. Probably the more expensive one, right? Would probably be more likely to have high.
More
class
likely, definitely.
preservation.
So,
Yeah, that works.
Relations Release.
Sure.
Okay, so if you go to Relations Release, it will be 4 silver for the trip of to and from the area district, which is where this is located.
Okay.
So as you go uptown to do so, they will tell you basically, and the people who run the place are very somber, very quiet people, but not. They don't look down on you, since you seem like you're not necessarily from the array uptown, which is how you've kind of experienced so far the people of Array being pretty condescending and stuff. And they don't give you that kind of vibe. But they do tell you that the preservation spell will cost you 100 gold for every time they cast it. So it is a ritual of a sort, with magical power infused into the ritual, and they can definitely conduct it and preserve the body until you're ready to have her mourned, basically. And that'll be for the uptown price.
How often do they have to preserve, or how often do they have to do the ritual?
Every 10 days.
Every 10 days.
And is this like a ritual, or is this like...
It is a magical ritual. So there is the factor that if Nemo would know that if he saw it cast once, he could... Sorcerers can do rituals, right?
Anyone can do rituals as long as they can have...
yeah.
So
your hijack would be functional in this thing. If you sat in on their casting of it, you would be able to hijack them and know how to do it for yourself if you wanted to. So you'd only have to pay the first price. That actually didn't occur to me until just now.
Yeah. No, that occurred to me immediately. Okay, I will I'll request the preservation for the first 10 days.
Okay. They'll give you a bunch of papers to sign, as well as information about the body itself, and they'll basically ask for like name, occupation, age, etc., how they died, blah blah blah. You can basically put whatever information that you want into that, but they will ask you for the gold on right now before they even do the ritual, and thank you upfront. And when you ask to sit in on the ritual casting itself, they will think it's actually very odd. They're kind of like a little bit creeped out, like no one ever wants to sit in on this kind of thing, like. and they'll kind of give you a little bit of like a hesitant, okay, weird request, but we'll let it go since you're paying good cash, good coin for it. But yeah, so they'll go about doing this. They take you down into the back. It's a nice room that they have it set up. There's a bunch of different kind of pyre setups. There's different kinds of pyres that they have available for the burning of grieving people of dead bodies and everything. And so as they connect the ritual, you realize that you are going to need money worth stuff for it. You're going to need some sort of expensive stuff. I think it's incense that you need. Let me look it up. Gentle repose.
I mean, I can look it up.
That's okay. I already got it. You're going to need oh, actually no, it's just a bunch of different stuff basically. Yeah, you'll need copper piece, and it's not a cantrip. It's an action. Gentle repose. It's a second level spell. Mm-hmm. But it's
spell.
ritual.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that off the top of my head. So proud of
So
myself.
it lasts for 10 days, and basically it makes her remains preserved, and for the duration she cannot decay or become undead. So it protects her from that sort of situation. Yeah. Okay. So gentle repose. As you watch and then you hijack, you'll go ahead and erase whatever hijack spell you already had, and you can add gentle repose instead.
Well, I'm not planning to hijack now.
Okay. You'll wait until after.
Oh wait, yeah.
Until after the 10 days.
I
Okay.
have 10
Cool.
days, so.
You'll have to make sure to find the same person that's leading this. It's like a very somber man with bright red hair. And you'll be able to track him down easily enough to hijack him and pull the spell that he obviously knows. So, Atoll is preserved. Do you leave her there? Because they offered to let her stay there. And
I will leave. Yeah, that was my intention.
Okay, so they'll keep the body in one of their many caskets that are for this specific purpose, setting her aside for when you and your family are ready to mourn her specifically. And so that's successful. Secondarily, your date. Should we do that now, or do you want to wait? And we can keep cycling through different people's activities.
Just an average day for Nemo. Going to a funeral home, and then I got a date later at this illegal gambling place with this chick that tried to kill me and my friends, and did actually succeed in killing one of my friends.
Yes.
Well, she didn't do it.
But she was helping.
She wasn't there.
He did not directly
But I mean, it's
kill
true
him.
love.
She wasn't there, Carly. She wasn't a part of the original group.
Oh, she wasn't?
No, that's the only reason I didn't kill
I
her.
don't think so.
I definitely would have killed her if she was.
Actually, we'll hop to Enola and we'll do your canvassing.
Yeah,
of
no,
the city.
I
That's less bad.
absolutely.
But only slightly.
Kept her.
Only slightly less bad. Because you did just like burn down a building with her and stuff.
Exactly. True love.
So
True
Enola,
love and arson.
as you go throughout the city and you are looking around basically to just canvas and kind of map out where general areas are, find out where the black market is, etc., etc. Go ahead and give me a survival check and an investigation check. So 2 separate checks for this as you spend a couple days just trying to map out the place that is the capital.
Okay, 19 for investigation.
Nice.
You said survival
upon-
for the other one, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you happen upon any ethereal, we have a kid at Havar that needs to be taken to Alethkar. Just a reminder.
Oh, yeah.
Just happen upon one, just in case. Because
Who?
you tend to happen upon those people. Yeely.
Oh. I don't know who we talking about.
What was the second roll?
It was a 9.
A 9. So the
9.
survival check. So in figuring out where everything is with your investigation check, you are very successful. So you get a general map of the area, but And so, for future reference, if you are the one leading the group in trying to find your way anywhere or trying to track down something, you will have advantage on that roll, and as like carrying a map for the place.
Nice.
As you do so, though, you don't actually find your way into any of the nooks and crannies necessarily. You figure out where Reneg Row is specifically, kind of where it starts. So Reneg Row, is where the black market will be located, where any lower class or like underground kind of activity will be. So you locate that, and it's in the northern part of the Penice Ward. But you don't find where any ethereal are necessarily, or have any hints based on your survival check of the more insightful aspect of the street smartness and everything. So you figure out where everything is more of a technical mind, but not where things might be plausibly in the more insightful mind. So you still will have advantage, though, on leading through the city. You just don't find where any ethereal context might be. And there's even some good spots where you think would be solid places to hide. So you keep those in mind for future reference in case you and the group needs to go down to go off the radar, basically. So, let's see. Other than that, you wanted to do more research. So for the final 5 days, what did you want to try to research?
Remember what
Are your computers becoming alive?
Oh, yeah.
I know
I don't
when I
think
did
she
my research last time.
Kanari, he's saying that your fan is whirring.
Oh, then just say that. My brain did not. I was like, whose computer coming?
You're fine. What'd you say, Noah?
I'm trying to see. This is why I need to go back, and I haven't gone back and rewatched any of our sessions in so long. I know when I did my research first around, there was one of the topics. It got a bad roll, and I couldn't find any. Like, I didn't find anything or close to anything. I can't remember what it was.
Remember you looking up stuff about Jezrien? Oh, stuff of how like it connected to the present day. I think that's what you rolled badly on, from what I recall. Like how it connects, basically. So you could research that again if you wanted. But if you want time to think about what you want to spend the time on, you can, and I can go to Nemo and his date.
But what was that? If that's what it was, though, then that's what I'll.
I think.
I just can't remember
from what I recall, but I'm not for sure.
You know what? Just do the date.
The two big things were Jezrien and the Oni. She couldn't get any specifics on any of the Western winds.
That's what it was.
And let me see. She didn't get much on anything like post Western winds, Jezrien.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
And the
so it was
thing,
the Western winds thing, and then post.
The thing with where the anti-magic stuff started was another part of it.
Oh, okay. So if you want to go back into researching that stuff again, you can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your last days up until the 18th will be spent doing that. So go ahead and give me a new investigation check, and we'll do a separate insight check again. So it'll be insight, insight, and then investigation.
Do you want me to read you what we have on that? Because I have in my notes everything.
Yes,
she
please.
found
Actually,
last time.
Go ahead and tell me what she found as she rolls.
So Tal says the Western winds all died except the champion of honor, the druid, and the cleric. They claim all the members were blessed by Taylor. None of them were Shaitan or Mageborn. The horde was donated to the ministry. Coagamus focused his destruction on Taylor and anything that represented him. Jezrien was involved in many philanthropic endeavors, trying to smooth over the brutal Talon takeover. Jezreel's apparently part royalty, younger brother to the late Sun King. He rejected his royal attachments and left their house to make his name adventuring and helping people. People weren't being executed for magic until after Jezreel died. Karhale knows he was trying to push back on the anti-mage stuff, but the books don't say anything about that. The oaths Atoll was trying to learn are parallel to the tenets of honor and the honor code, but not identical. And about the Oni, according to the ministry, the Oni are the original devil that contrasts Taylor's goodness. The Oni came about because of the Dark Days, and they're known to infiltrate places and replace people. There's a lot of propaganda about how mages are also Oni and need to be eradicated. It's said that blessed silver tends to work well against Oni, depending on the type. They say the red Oni are more vicious, and the blue tend to take people's places more. Inquisitors were created specifically to exterminate Oni. They have a way to see through an Oni's illusion. The ministry has a very strong grip on the government, since the Honoris is currently the regent, since the Sun King is too young to rule. Normally, it's balanced between royalty, the military, and the ministry, but now it's very heavily towards the ministry's favor.
Okay. Cool.
Which is never good.
Never good at all. And there was the recent assassination of the attempt of the Child King. Assassination. So, Anala, what are your rolls?
For investigation,
Jezreel's nephew.
I got 26.
26. Nice.
And what was the other one?
You said that was investigation, right? So insight for the other one. And that'll be pulling the making jumps based on your understanding of people and everything.
7.
7. Okay. So investigation wise, what you find out more so is that, okay, so specifically Jezreel and the fact that execution started for Mageborn after his death. Specifically, you find one account from way back when in some obscure historian's personal record of events and everything throughout the building of Tal. You find one recording is that Jezreel was trying to basically he had formed some form of peace talk between him and the Shaitans, being some Mageborn people, and he had made it a public affair so that he could speak to them and make them more human, make them more relatable for the common people and stuff. So that he did this in front of everyone, and during that event, he was murdered by those Mageborn in front of everyone, and that's what started the outpouring of hatred, vitriol, and executions and stuff from there. That was just the shot that was heard around the world, basically. Him being murdered in front of everyone by Mageborn. It's not mentioned in multiple other, in any other history book or anything. It's just said that he's killed during that time and everything. But he was specifically killed by Mageborn, and it's kind of confusing to you why they wouldn't mention that, because wouldn't that help the whole hatred toward Mageborn thing? But you're not really sure why, and you can't quite make that jump of why that would be, or why it would be avoided being talking about, basically. People mentioning it. So you find that account, though, and he was killed by Mageborn, and that's what started the executions specifically. You find an account of that the druid left the country after being kind of forced out of the country by officials. She was told to leave, basically banished from Tal. And then the cleric himself disappeared, actually, after a couple days. He was supposed to be banished as well, though it didn't clarify the word banished, because he was officially a priest of Taylor, but he was supposed to be brushed under the rug as well, and then he just disappeared and they didn't do anything. They didn't find him or know what happened to him. Let's
Things are
see.
clicking.
Beyond that, investigation was really good. You discover. I think that was basically it on the actual facts that were missing. What were other missing facts? From what she said, I remember that was a missing fact, and then there was something else.
Anything about like how the fight with Coagumus actually ended, because supposedly Jezrien died, but then he wasn't dead.
And
it was said that he was resurrected multiple times.
Okay, so you find that Jezrien was resurrected multiple times? Okay, that was by Honora. Honora's just resurrected him multiple times throughout their time.
Oh, that's right. You clarified that, but none after they parted ways.
Yeah, none after they parted ways. Beyond that, let's see. You find more information on Jezrien, being that he seemed to be involved in building up the ministries, which you already know. He built up the Tellurian ministry, helped create the Inquisitors themselves. He helped in the magical making of those creatures, being that it's mentioned in the books in this obscure historian's words that they are not mortal, they are not human kind of thing. They're not humanoid creatures. They are created by magic and something other, basically. Created by Jezrien to protect everyone from mage Oni threats specifically, until it became Shaitan threats continuing on. You discover that he had kids. Jezrien had 2 kids. And there's no mention of where they are, where they went, what happened to them.
Their names?
There's no names mentioned, but it mentions in this family tree thing, you zero in on the fact that it mentions 2 children birthed by Jezrien and then 1 child birthed by his brother, the brother who took the throne after he left, basically. Let's see.
Was Jezrien married?
There is a listed wife for Jezrien. So he was married at a certain point. You're not really sure when it happened because it doesn't have the date of their coming together kind of thing. But it seems like the kids were birthed after he left after he first forsook his royalty. Yes. Okay, so that's what you discover. And coming then to Nemo and your date. So
I did text you real quick if you want to check that before this.
Sure.
It's just
did it mention the wife's name?
I don't think so. Oh, did it?
That's cool. Okay, yeah, it will be a series of checks, Nemo. Do you care if I explain what you're doing or if we talk about it explicitly, or do you just want to roll checks themselves?
Is it going to be checks and no roleplay, or is it going to be...
I would say we can do no roleplay, since we're going to do the roleplay for you and... Well, honestly, you can mix that together with your date. You could ask what's her name for it.
Oh, true. That would be a weird request, though, but okay, sure.
She's a weird girl.
We can start with date.
Okay, so going into the date then. Couple days after you met her, and you're healed up by now. Your burns are scarred over for the most part, and almost magically clean of a scar. Like you can see a bit of a lighter tone to your skin, where the burns had been, but it honestly, when normal people heal from burns and stuff, as dramatic as you had from that night, they tend to have like raised skin and actual scarring, but for you, not so much. And it's kind of interesting. But just another interesting thing that is your life for Nemazine Tau. So, a couple days hence, you show up at what is known to be the Fortune's Favor, which is the gambling den in Renneck Row. Inala herself, and you having a conversation probably at some point of her having marked it down in a list of bigger, interesting parts of town and everything as she's mapping out the city of the capital. But you find your way there easily enough. And the building itself is very large. It's a large attraction, imposing building. Its columns, roofs, and walls are all painted bright red, while the floors are covered in some thick, exquisite carpets. 2 pillars reside at the entrance with a staircase that goes up, made out of colored sandstone. And each of the columns have these verses written in formal Talin, which you do since you can read Talin, you recognize the words meaning money over life and gains over shame. There's nothing immediately referencing passion, but based on your general knowledge of the gods, it's kind of implied, especially because the red is associated with Asian himself. So this is a place that deals in passions and the idea of probably frivolity and such. Anyway, so as you make your way inside, you do see Cook at a distance as she's kind of hanging over a table of people that are presently gambling. She's just kind of watching. And she'll notice you right away as the sunset's falling, and this is when you guys had planned to meet. She'll notice you right away and motion at one of the servers that's kind of walking around. And the server will come over to you and lead you to the rented room that she had put some money in to have this date with you. So you guys are led to a small a room that's not its own, like it's kind of it's one of those open rooms where you can see like an open box, like a viewing box, but for the floor of the gambling, the gambling floor. Yeah. And so there's this red curtain that kind of blocks it from the rest of the activity. So people can probably see in if they try to see in or get closer to the curtain, but for the most part, it's pretty much blurred from the outside looking in.
It's like the varsity or the varsity curtains over the office.
Oh yeah, exactly. You can still see it, and it's kind of awkward when the lights are on and it's all kind of dark out there. Anyway, so the server leads you over, and you hear her giggling as you near, as she's already come into the room, and she's Nemo. You came. I'm so glad that you came. I mean, I knew that you would because you love me, obviously. So why would you bypass all of this?
I'm surprised you didn't ditch me. I didn't think you actually cared that much.
Oh, no. Never question my love for you, Nemo. It is abiding and forever. So go ahead, sit down. We can get some food. And she waves at the waiter and gives like a little bit of a head tweak and a nod, and the waiter goes off to get whatever that meant to get. And she goes, so Nemo, last time we, had our first date, we didn't really get to talk about what makes you you and what makes me me. So I'd really like to get to know you better. And I promise I didn't tell any of my friends that about us, at least. Not yet. Though I do, I should tell you that I'm going to have to tell them eventually because, I mean, they're my friends and I want you to get along with my friends.
First off, I gotta say, I've never done this before, so I don't know exactly what to say, like, on the first date. Like, you look pretty, okay. I guess.
Thank you. And she is very lovely. She's not wearing her hood anymore, and you can actually see her full body. So, actually, on that note, Safrina, or Cook, is so she is of a fairer complexion, closer to your complexion, actually. And to be honest, she vibes a little bit more Kellen than anyone else. She's very pale skinned, very dark hair, though. dark hair that's kind of a gleaming black, very straight. Right now it's pulled back in a nice little ornate braid that comes down over her shoulder. A lot of it is it's shorter though, and the ends are a bit frayed, as though some of it had been burned
They've
off.
been burned,
actually,
yeah.
at the bottom. Yeah. And she's got some visible like scarring on her arms, but not that much. You actually see this gleaming bright red ring that's right below a wrapped magical looking silk scarf that's wrapping around her left arm, but a ring as well in her left hand with a glowing bright red stone on the top, as like the stone that's on top of the ring. Let's see. She's got what looks to be a scar across one of her cheeks, something that scarred over from a long time ago, just across her cheek, and the crazed look in her eyes is the same as it was before, a gleam. Let's see.
Came all the way from
she's also
to find a cowgirl. That's just funny.
She's also wearing a silky, kind of slinky dress that's got like the kind of the Arabian dresses where it's like open and hanging by like little knots along the arms. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she's got that kind of like hanging silky filmy sleeves going on with this like red silk dress. Yes, her eyes are bright, kind of golden reddish color, and kind of shimmer between the two depending on the lighting. And yeah, she's looking at you with love in her eyes, or at least the love that she has. Food is eventually brought to you guys. Yes. Did you ask her a question? I forget. I got lost in the description.
I did, but I don't remember.
She basically
like,
tells
you
though,
don't know what to say on a first date.
Oh yeah, and then I wait, no, what did she say first?
She had said that well, she would have said to the whole first date thing. I don't know if I actually said it out loud before I got into the description, but she would have said that it's okay because I have 2 other experiences of a first date, so I can lead you through this. Third time's the charm, right?
Sure. No, what was the second thing she said?
There's some sort of alcoholic beverage that's brought to you guys, by the way. It's in some blown glassware that's very ornate, very beautiful.
Fireball, right?
Decorative, and some like the glass blowing and everything has formed like dice on the sides of the glass and everything, little dice for decorative purposes. Just so you know, if you forgot where you were, you know now. What was your question?
What was the second thing she said? Because I was giving a response to that, but I don't remember.
Just now?
No, the first thing she said. Like,
I do not recall, to be honest. But go ahead and give me a persuasion roll for how well this evening goes, as you guys are just spending time together and sharing information. She will tell you that her name is Safrina. She doesn't give you a last name.
Afrina?
Safrina.
Safrina? Like suffering?
Or friend. You can call her friend. She gives you permission. But only her close friends or lovers can call her friend.
That's a 13. It was just straight charisma, or was it like...
Persuasion.
Persuasion? Oh.
It could be performance, if you wanted.
Yeah,
or if you were going to try to like talk yourself up as someone that you're not, deception would also apply. However you wish to play out the evening.
Not really. Like, persuasion is fine. It's a 14.
14. Okay, so the evening doesn't go by badly, and it doesn't go by great. So as you guys are kind of getting to know each other, she does seem to be pretty open to you about her own life and where she's come from. Are there any questions that you inquire of her?
How she met the people she works with now.
Well, the reason I met them was because I guess they were looking for someone with skills like mine or like yours. I'm assuming it's actually to combat you specifically, since you and your friends are who they're hunting, as as I guess you caused them some trouble last time they met you. They decided to find me, and I would be able to equalize the situation, so to speak.
Hmm. You're not like you don't like any of them, right? Like you don't.
I mean, they seem nice enough. Maeve is like a sister I never had. We're never really wanted. And Pyrus is a little annoying. And I'd known him previously before joining with them. And I thought he was dead because Maeve was all upset thinking he was dead, but then he wasn't. So I guess that's good for him, but I kind of want him to stay dead.
Oh,
Is
so you
that
don't?
bad? Does that make me a bad person?
No, I wanted him to stay dead too.
Oh, I'm so glad we have this in common. And she like reaches forward and like is leaning up into your space as you guys are talking. You guys are on like a little love seaty as food is kind of brought to you guys at a certain point throughout the evening. People are very loud, by the way. Like the curtain that you guys have is pretty much keeping the noise at acceptable levels for you, but there's a lot of like, oh, yeah, going on out in the crowd as people are gambling away their life's work.
So Fryn, what's your favorite color?
Favorite color? Well, I guess you could. Well, honestly, red. Red is beautiful. It's the color of blood. It's the color of fire. It's the color of love.
I had a feeling you would say red.
I know. I mean, you just get me, Nemo. I'm so glad that that passion was able to help us find each other. That's amazing. And you're a passion of mine now, Nemo. And she's gonna ask you if you like the people you're with enough to stick with them, because she's like, you should come over to our side and join us. We're a lot more fun than whoever you're probably with.
Well, I see. I would, but they killed a very close friend of mine, and I have to kill them for that. So I'm sorry. If you're the last one in the group and like you continue the group, then I could join, but I have to kill them.
I see. Well, actually, roll me a persuasion check.
Come to the dark side.
Yes.
We have cookies.
You said persuasion, right?
Yes, sir. She's gonna go, well, I mean, they are my employers as well as, I guess, friends of mine. I couldn't just abandon them so easily.
You should come meet my friends. Maybe you'll like them more.
And what is your roll?
22.
Wow. Okay. And she's like, well, okay, I guess I'll meet them. There's no harm in trying that first, right? When do you want me to come? And how do you want this to go down? Should it be, you introducing me as your girlfriend, or I feel like if it's more of an official title between the two of us, maybe they'd be more willing, as friends that are supposed to be supportive of relationships. So how about we get married? Because they couldn't say no to your wife, right?
Are you sure you want to be like really close friends with them? What if you don't like them? And if you're my wife, you'll have to be close to them.
That is a good point. Yeah. How about we leave it pending? So I'll be your fiance when I meet them.
So it's complicated, is what we'll say.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
And they'll be more inclined to have to like me because we're already almost officially super serious. So they will be more inclined, and no matter what I say or do, they will have to like me.
How about I would really like it to be super special when you become my fiance. So how about we just say like complicated for now, and then when a really special moment happens, then I can like put a ring on your finger, and it can be yeah.
I expect something.
You're going steady.
Very useful as a ring, by the way. Something like this. And the ring that she raises gleams. She goes, "Oh, it protects me from fires, since I tend to do stuff like that pretty often."
You need one of those.
I was literally about to. So, do you have more than one of those?
No, if only. If I did, I'd be wearing it. I do adore red, like we've said. But if you could find me something like this, I would say yes. Also, I can't wait for very long, so this is going to have to be sooner than later, okay, Nemo? I mean, honestly, by the end of the month would be preferable, because I don't know if I'm going to be staying here for any longer than that. So when we do get married, you're going to have to come with me, of course.
Wait, but what happened? I thought you were going to meet my friends and like maybe join my group.
That's a good point. But no, we'll be meeting them while it's still complicated, and then we can get married and then go off on our own, of course.
Oh, okay. Like I said, this is my first date. This is really going really fast.
I think it's going perfectly well. The first date I went on, I ended up killing him in maybe the first hour or so. So I think it's going swimmingly.
Wow, I've never killed anyone that I was trying to date, so I guess that's you and I are like
first time for everything. But don't let me be the first, okay?
Oh, please, Jupiter, come on. Like you didn't have the hots with him.
Come on.
So I do want to know,
that one
these
wasn't
friends of
his
yours,
fault.
I've heard that they're all female. There's nothing that I have to worry about with them, right?
I mean, I could ask you the same about Pyrus, right? You seemed awfully
close. Oh, Pyrus is
to him.
gross, and he's small. I only like tall men like you.
What about the other guy?
The other guy, oh, rot back. His breath always smells. So, no.
How would you know his breath smells unless you were kissing him?
Oh, that's a good point. I'm so sorry, Nemo. I kissed him before we were together, okay? But I would never do that to you now. I promise. I'm not that kind of girl.
I don't know how to take this. So that's why you're staying with the other group, because you kissed him and you want to stay with him?
Nemo, I mean, I will say, I didn't expect you to be so possessive. I was with someone once who was possessive, and they wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do, and I should be allowed to do whatever I want to do, shouldn't I?
You can do whatever you want.
And of course, if there were no feelings in it, then it didn't really count, did it?
Well, why would you kiss him if there were no feelings? Is that what you did with me?
I mean, do you bump into people sometimes? Do you care about the people that you bump into? Exactly. No. So, of course, he's just a person, and I'm just a person. And he means nothing to me. So we can leave it at that, right?
Okay. I think we can leave it like that.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Oh, I forgot. I brought this for you as a first date gift and all. You brought me a first date gift, right?
I did.
Okay, I can't wait to see it. But here for you, and she gives you a little bouquet of flowers.
Oh, flowers.
You should smell them.
I'll smell them.
Roll me a Constitution save.
I knew it.
I knew it.
A Constitution save? Okay, I'll be fine.
Yep.
21.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're definitely fine. You smell the flowers themselves, and there's this strong, pungent scent wafting off of them, and it makes you kind of burns your nostrils as you breathe it in, and you kind of like turn away from it and shake off any tingling that ends up coursing through your body. And she kind of watches you for a couple seconds, like wide eyes and a small grin. And then as you don't have any negative effects, she blinks and she smiles even broader as she leans in. I hope you like them.
Wow, that was strong. Wow, what are those?
Oh, they're just poisonous flowers. I don't actually know what they're called. I just asked the herbalist to give me whatever he had that was poisonous in stock. I can't date someone who's weaker than I am, of course. So it was just a gentle test to start you off. But you are quite strong. So I think we have a bright future ahead of us, Nemo.
Maybe. Wait, and for my gift, I'll pull out Balo's daggers and I'll give them to her, I guess.
Oh, these look different than regular daggers. Are they special somehow? Special for me?
I mean, I did take them off of the last man I killed, so I thought they would be perfect for you.
Oh, did you actually kill him?
I don't think so.
Roll deception check.
Technically, I think I killed him.
I think Carholly did kill him.
Such a long time ago. Yeah.
I know.
Nemo's
so go ahead and roll me a deception check. But she is simpering. That is the right thing to say.
Deception, you said? I mean, I lied. 17. Come at
Wild 17? Oh, she needs to roll against that. Okay. And she simpers and she blushes a little bit and she actually lifts one of the daggers and licks it as she smiles at you. And she's just like, this is the sweetest thing anyone's ever given to me. And she puts them into the little belt sleeves that she has. And she's going to reach forward and plant a kiss on your face in thanks. And she goes, I think this is a start to something beautiful, Nemo. Something chaotic and uncontrolled between the two of us. And I think that's exactly what we both deserve. So I think it's wonderful. Any other questions for her?
I'm going to ask her. Oh, so after we've like eaten, drinking, for like a little while, like as the night's closing to an end, I'm gonna ask her. Hey friend, by the way, I know, you know, you and I are very accustomed to death and different things. I was wondering.
Oh, of course.
Do you know of any drug or flower or anything like that that would put me in like a state of death? Like maybe a poison that's like reversible, or even a drug that'll stop my heart, maybe?
I think I could help you with that.
I'm offended you didn't ask
but
me.
I prefer to be excited.
Wait, what'd she say?
I think I could find you something. How about that'll be your gift for our second date?
Just a potion thing and you don't ask me. That's fine. I'm not hurt. It's not my only thing.
Well, this was very sudden. And it's not something.
No. You also hit the alcoholic.
It's
I actually know something that's what you're describing. But no, go ahead, ask your girlfriend.
It's not something it's not something he would ask you anyway, so
I'll definitely find something for you.
Fair.
Does it matter if it might cause lasting effects?
What kind of lasting effects?
Well, I'll have to look into it more, but off the top of my head, there might be lasting effects. But we'll see. I'll bring it to you next time we see each other. So how about in 3 days? Actually, hold on. And she's going to flip through a little notepad of hers. And she's going to tell you, actually, this week's not going to work. How about next week?
Oh, why won't this week work?
Well, it seems like they have a different job. The group seems to have bitten off more than they can chew, what with trying to kill you guys, and I guess there's someone else who they're trying to kill as well. So I still have to deal with that. So next week.
What about our second date could be me helping you with this job?
I guess that's a good point. Oh, well, no, they're not going to appreciate bringing in someone that they don't know.
You don't have to tell them.
Someone that they're actively trying to kill.
You don't have to tell them. I could come in like late and sneak in, and then it could be like a teenagers hiding in behind the bleachers kind of fun escapade.
Okay, sure. Well, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. And as she's contemplating this, well, I know Rotback would get so angry with me if I let this happen. 11?
11, yeah.
You know, I don't think so. This is a new job, and I don't really want to anger them too much, you know? But I promise, when I come to see you next, if it's with them, I'll give you fair warning. Okay?
Okay. Who is it you guys are killing anyway?
I don't know, some person from uptown in LA. Someone rich.
Oh.
Not that I care.
But you don't care about rich people?
No, they just point me where to cast, and I cast. As long as I'm killing someone. No, I would say there's like some sort of snack off to the side. Actually, she's smoking something. Yeah, she's smoking something.
Okay. Well, tonight has been lovely. I really I've really loved this the first date. It's
I think this was quite successful, like I said. And since you're not dead yet, I think we have a bright future ahead.
I think so too.
So I'll bring you, next time I see you, I'll bring you your second date's gift.
What do you want me to bring you for second date's gift?
Second date's gift. I'd like something dangerous, please.
Dangerous. So myself isn't included?
You're hilarious, Nemo. I like something I can bring with me everywhere.
So myself isn't included. Okay.
Well, not yet, unless you're ready to get married. Just tell me when.
Okay. Well, it's been lovely. I will see you next week.
See you then. And she will give you fair warning next time she, along with her crew, ends up coming to call. Okay. So, let's see. Are there any other mechanical things we need to look over for peoples?
That was it for me.
Okay, cool. So, coming into... Oh, Kanari, by the way, all of your level up stuff and everything, you're good. With that training period, you're good for all the level up stuff that you hadn't quite done yet.
I thought I already had done it earlier, but that's fine.
Doesn't matter. It's all good. Done. Cool. And okay, so at the end of this period of working and stuff like that, on the 18th, when Karhale's finished, Kanari's finished, you guys have the day off to kind of chill. Karhale, you still have this point of exhaustion and everything. But come the evening, you guys do notice as everyone's come back to the inn and everything, Karhale and you are finishing up and leaving the kitchen itself. You hear out in the tavern eating room, like the area itself, you hear someone playing a little stroking a lute, and the tune itself kind of drifting back into the kitchen. And you have the and I get this tune from Tori as a side note, guys. But and you hear the little song playing, the how I to watch a mortal kindle, then to dwindle day by day, knowing their bright souls are tender, and the mist will have its way. Would I could my own fire lend What does your flickering portend? How I to watch a mortal kindle, then to dwindle day by day, and it just kind of ends with the and Give is back. What perfect timing! But as you come out into the room, you do see Give in all of his glory, his red hair tied beneath a silk scarf, his earrings, and various colorful accoutrements all over him. And yeah, he's smiling at you, and he goes, I've been in town for a couple days now, but I didn't want to bother you as you seem to be busy for the moment.
Bringing people back from the dead. How good are you at that?
Oh, straight to no small talk. Okay. So
look at me. I don't do small talk. You've met me. I don't do small talk.
Are we going to wait for your friends? Are they coming in this evening, or
does it
we
matter?
having this out now?
Well, I'd prefer to know what my options are.
Okay. Well, you say resurrection. Is there a specific reason why?
A kid.
Kid. The kid back at the estate?
The one traveling with us. The one traveling with us.
I see. Unfortunate. Well, as far as resurrection goes, you realize that's not done, right?
I don't care.
Well, unfortunately, I do not know a resurrection spell. It's something that's... Well, I do not know the resurrection spell. The act of resurrection in of itself is also difficult and risky, as far as I understand, for anyone that does know such a spell. As far as I know about what resurrection spells history, what is in its history, it's only been successful a few select times, and only done by those unafraid of incurring the wrath of those who look down on twisting fate.
Do I look like someone who gets scared?
Fair point. But look at me and know I would rather not incur the wrath of such a beautiful and fearsome goddess as Janora. And his eyes kind of flick up at that moment. So even if I did know the spell, I don't think I would do it for you. I don't know you well enough, nor have as much of a hand in what's going on with all of you. No offense. But as part of the knowledge that I bring you... Yeah?
Go ahead.
As part of the knowledge that I bring you does actually coincide a bit, in the sense that I told you before that I'm not quite as supportive of Raiden's path in forcing you all to work with him, yes?
And?
So, in light of not quite being supportive of his control over you through a soul curse, Hong Guanjun, you had a somewhat of a run-in with him before, and I believe I told you that he has the capability to break such magics. He has experience in that realm.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but the soul curse is kind of low on my priority list right now.
Well, that's the thing, Karhale, because Hong Guanjun has practice in that realm of magic, being soul magic, being that he would know such a spell as resurrection. And as far as I know, I believe he's attempted it before too. It was unsuccessful, And as well as it was unsuccessful for one, and it also got him banished from the Immortals, the Silver Mountains where they reside, but he does know the spell as far as I know.
Why would he do such a thing for me? What could we... I don't have any dealings with Oni aside from you, so I don't know what he would ask of us. And I don't like the fact that I already owe one of you a favor.
Well, separate from the fact that, different, contrary to me, being I would rather not cause the respective immortals, my people, to want to come down upon me for resurrecting someone, which is against their laws. He's already broken them and already been punished for them, so he'd be more likely to do so for you. I don't know what you could do for him, but I'm sure he'd be pliable. And also contrary to me, he doesn't mind as much messing with the world order as our people try to force us not to. He gets involved from time to time. As you've seen,
Sounds like my kind of guy.
That he does. Do you wish to try to seek him out? If not, this will be the end of the matter.
I mean, I don't think you're quite grasping the lengths I'm willing to go to bring this kid back.
I can respect such lengths that you'll go to. I can respect the love that you may have for another. The gods know that I've held such affections for mortals before. But it doesn't do well to love a mortal as one who doesn't die, so I'll stick to keeping my affections for those that won't.
So
here, and he goes into his pack. He pulls out what looks to be a small cylindrical device of some sort, and he basically explains that this is a magical flare, and if you wish to seek out Hong Guanjun, I would use this outside of the city's walls. It might draw attention that you might not want within the city, but it's a magical flare. If you press here, it will send up the symbol for a symbol that the protectors of the material plane would recognize. I stole one as I was making my way out.
And if I do this, they'll come to me?
Him, perhaps. Or it's basically a beacon of need, of danger. So he might come, or perhaps one of his trainees.
I'm hoping not one of the trainees. I've encountered a few of them, and they're not particularly helpful.
They will be able to lead you back to Hong Guanjun if that is your purpose.
Okay. He's the guy who we saw back at the Druid City, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just running for.
We never saw him, but yeah, you met.
We saw the trainees,
right?
Yeah,
my brain just kind of keep track. Yeah. Okay, cool.
You're good. You're good.
Oh, thank you.
Now to your friends, shall we? I do have updates on the general job that you are all a part of.
You know, it's funny. That also is kind of low on my priority list.
How much longer do you have left? Can you afford it to be low?
How many months? Is it what? 4? 3?
I believe you have 4, about to become 3 by the end of this month.
Do we have to get back with it or just have it within 3 months?
I think just have it.
He said to bring it back to him within 6 months' time.
Oh. Bring it back. Okay,
But
that's cool.
it might be malleable based on, I mean, if you guys get it by the end of 6 months and he's like, you have it, and you're like, you can't get back yet until there might be some.
He doesn't want us just to die on the way back to him with
Yeah,
it.
he-
I mean,
yeah,
He
he
doesn't
wants
want
a
us to
stone.
die if we have it.
Mm-hmm.
Enough time for me to not care what Raiden needs.
That's fair, especially with how he's treated you so far.
I
would share this information, though.
I will. Out of curiosity and just the fact that it hadn't crossed my mind before. Do you know Darian?
Darian, as in Raiden's slave?
Brother of Daeyun?
I believe we've had the pleasure of meeting once, perhaps twice. He normally shadows Raiden everywhere he goes.
Just wondering if you knew anything about him. Is all.
I know he is skilled in the art of the spear and multiple other fighting styles. He's a skilled bodyguard. He saved Raiden's life multiple times, as far as I understand.
Not enough to earn his freedom, I guess.
Yes, I believe that is a point of contention between Raiden and his other slave, Dalyun, who left because of such things.
Left to do great things, I hear.
As far as I understand, to become a great person, yes.
And speaking of Raiden, he doesn't need to know about the man I had you scry on.
It hasn't come up, if that's what you're asking. He doesn't seem to be very interested in things that don't directly concern him.
Fair.
Though I suppose if ensuring that you work for him
That's my point.
becomes...
I'll remind you, I caved in Yong's skull. And Nide barely walked away from our last encounter. And only because he wasn't my priority. If Raiden finds out about Jaskier, I swear, on the fourth year, the Diviners, and the Great Spirits, I will make ending you my priority.
Kahale, are you making this friendly interaction of ours a bit more...
Yes.
Well, there we go. Well,
and you accuse Kanari of being harsh? Like, just saying, like, woo!
I can't say whether or not
it's a friendly threat.
He doesn't already know about Jaskier.
I mean, isn't Eren protected from scrying?
Protected, yes. Have you had conversations about him in between the city and the outside? Have you thought of him between the city and this one?
He can't read my thoughts, can he? Is that a thing?
He is a man of divination. Divination itself is a powerful skill.
You're telling me he can read my thoughts? If he wanted to.
The limits of Raoden's powers are not mine to keep track of, so to speak. So I honestly have no idea whether he already knows. So don't go blaming me and trying to kill me if he already does.
I won't. But in my defense, I didn't think that was a thing people could do until, like, last week.
There are possibilities of the world of Mesona is endless. But just keep in mind, Karhale, you threaten me, and I am no longer your friend. But for now, we're friends. I choose to ignore it. But
I threaten my friends all the time.
Just know my ignorance only goes so far. So, as long as we are friends, you should know that the Aeltress itself, whether or not you seek it out, is on the flitting around in the wind, as far as I understand. The Honorous himself is the one who was sent to steal it, or sent someone to steal it. The Acolytes are the ones who stole it. So, my assumption being that since the Honorous is the one who sent the Acolytes to steal it, the Acolytes either have it or the Honorous has it.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
Do you want to deliver this information to the whole group so I don't have to go and tell them?
That's what I just asked. If you wanted me to give it to the group, and then you were no, I don't care.
No.
I'll deliver it to them myself, basically.
I didn't want
Okay,
to
bring your friends here so I can explain this to all of you at the same time.
Okay.
You try my patience, Miss Bearsbane.
I try a lot of people's patience. You're not special.
Nonetheless, I suppose I like you. Bring your friends. Bring them, or bring me to them, whichever is faster. And he gets up to walk after you.
I'll go track them down. I don't know where the heck they are. I don't know what time it is. I don't know what day it is. I just got done making potions.
Later evening, everyone's collecting back and everything. You find them easily enough, and you guys collect into one of your guys' rented rooms. So, in giving you guys the rundown, in essence, what you guys find out from Give is that the Aeltress itself was told to give by Raiden a powerful stone, purple stone, that gives the caster power, extra magical power, basically, and extra oomph. And anyone who's holding it, untold power. He doesn't really give specifics beyond that. So Give had to go kind of underground, collecting rumors and different information from different sources and stuff, and finally came back with this specific information, being that the Honorous is the one who hired the Acolytes to steal it. The Acolytes conducted this this task by basically betraying one of the military vessels in the Navy, and getting them to be defeated and multiple of them taken prisoner. This is what happened with Atoll. So that's why she was taken prisoner. She was part of this Acolyte plan to get them taken into the country as prisoners. So some Acolytes were sent in as moles, in essence, or little Trojan warriors, right? Trojan horse situation, taken as prisoners, broke out of whatever prison that was, probably caused the same reason that Atoll was able to escape initially, and then she got recaptured again. But these Acolytes break into Raiden's mansion, his castle, steal the Aeltress from him, and scurry their way back, using probably magical means to make their way back home. So Give's assumption, which neither of the sources are talking, none of the Honoris' people and none of the Acolytes' people are saying whether they have such a purple stone, but he assumes that they must, since the Honoris was the one who hired them to get it. So Honoris probably has it, the Acolytes might still have it, or a third option, which he's heard rumors going around on the streets, is that there's a purple, powerful stone being sold in an underground auction coming up soon. So by the beginning of next month, there's going to be this auction. And he tells you guys the exact day, being the 2nd of Ilyop. The 2nd of Ilyop will be this day.
Isn't that the current month?
Yodel is the current month.
Mm-hmm. Never mind. I remember.
Ilyop. And actually, it's going to be the 3rd. The 3rd will be the day of this auction. He doesn't know where it's going to be, but he knows that the people that are holding it is this rich group of criminals called the... If it'll work. A rich group of criminals called... the Al-Javer family, and they're holding the auction for anyone who can pay, and invited people to come and bid, but it's going on in the underground, so it's not an official auction of any sort. They sell all kinds of things as plausibly magical items, plausibly people, plausibly weapons themselves, or even skill sets and whatnot. But that's going to happen soon, and that's the only specific rumor that mentions a powerful purple stone. Yes. Sorry, what was your question?
Sorry. What did you say the name was again?
Aljaver. So A-L. Oh, that didn't occur to me. But yeah, Aljaver.
A-L. And it's a group or a person?
A family.
A family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They built their entire wealth, their entire hoard of wealth on criminal activities and whatnot. And they hold this auction once a year. They collect very special objects and collectible items, basically, from around the world to sell here for their respective criminal friends and whatnot. So he doesn't know where it's happening, though, exactly. He just knows it's happening on that day, and it's happening by them. And he doesn't know how you guys will be able to get inside, whether you want to get an invitation or not, that's up to you. Or if you want to try to sneak in, that's up to you as well. Or if you even want to go, that's up to you. But that's the third option there. The Honorist himself, he does tell you that there's a mistress of the Honorists that might have information as to whether he owns a purple stone, some sort of jewel that gives him extra power. And he can lead you to the mistress. And then the acolytes themselves, he doesn't really have an in with them. In essence, he assumes that maybe Kanari might, and might be able to try to find some information about past jobs
like
that
the
they've
acolytes.
had. Uh-huh.
I
But
know,
he
like
doesn't
the
have an in
Honorist
beyond
mistress,
that.
and I was
The
like,
acolytes have that information. You'll have to figure out how to route that information out of the acolytes. But keep in mind, they're dangerous.
They're dangerous.
And they will kill you.
We'll just send Nemo to snooze talk the mistress of the Honorist. I'm sure that'll go really well.
Exactly.
Sure, it'll go so well.
He's great with prostitutes, guys.
He's had so much experience
And
so
their
far.
babies.
So,
That's true.
let's see. Do you guys have any questions for Give?
Are we there now?
Why are you gay?
Yeah. So this is information given to you guys. Well, you
I'm not
see,
gay.
some people are born with different preferences in life.
I thought he hit on Anala.
He
No,
did
it
hit
was
on
a
it all.
joke.
Ah.
To which he is definitely
I
flirting
don't
with you
think-
again throughout this exchange and all that. But it's a little bit distracted. It's just like habitual flirting rather than like real focused flirting.
She would not acknowledge it.
Oh, she's playing
fair.
hard to get.
This is kind of unrelated to anything, but it's more just a personal thing.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what's going on in Kel, specifically in the Goliath tribes?
That is far out and not necessarily under my purview, so I could inquire around, but I fear that they probably won't have very much specific information. The tribe that you're referring to is rather enclosed, right?
Just the Goliath tribes in general, in the Talai Mountains.
I will look into
The Kel side, not the Kel side, not the Elithkar side.
Mm-hmm. I was assuming.
I don't expect you'll bring anything. It's just a lot going on right now, and I don't have time for it all.
I can understand the sentiment. I will look into it and get back to you when I have anything.
Thank you.
Any other questions from our hirelings +1 looking at Anala?
DM, he didn't mention the mark on their hands, did he? He didn't say anything. Does he even know? He knows about it, right? Or no?
Oh yeah,
He does. He's actually not really into it either, though. He's kind of like, huh, that's a little bit out of character for a person that I was working for.
She's gonna ask him if she knows anything about it, or if he knows of a way to get it off.
Well,
He'll tell you.
Hongwan Jun can get it off.
Yeah, he'll basically reiterate that Hongwan Jun. So it's soul magic, specifically that Raiden used against you, or against them, and that someone who uses soul magic could plausibly break it, or has experience with that, and therefore Hongwan Jun is one of those individuals.
Okay.
Although there's a bit of a side-eye glance toward Nemo with some of the magic that he's used in the past, but
it's too bad we're not in Kel. We could track down what was his name? Dr. Callisto Cygnus. Shoots a glance over at Nemo. It's a shame.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Why are you the way that you are? We know who he is.
But
there's no point in...
I do not know who it is.
Guy that does soul magic, supposedly.
Okay, you don't have to tell him that.
Gabe, why do you work for Reddit again? Like, what's your beef with him? I don't remember why you... What is your purpose with...
Not a beef or any such thing. But he does seem to be... Well, seemed past tense when I first met him. He seemed to have idealistic goals that could help a lot of people. And suppose it was idealistic of me. In a small moment of impulsivity, I offered my services as a collector of information for him.
But now you're trapped in your soul.
More so that I haven't tired of it yet. He knows that when I do, I'll move on.
Guys, are you technically a Lethe too?
I suppose
Oni don't really claim it.
Yes, we don't claim any state as our home necessarily. The protectors of the material plane live up in the Silver Mountains to the north in the Alethkar. And me, I was born there and wandered ever since. Not my favorite place to be.
Never been to Alethkar. Don't really care to. Oh, except that one time. Except that wasn't really...
As far as I understand...
choice in that.
I believe you've been there, correct? And he turns to Knari.
I've been where?
The Silver Mountains, to speak with the immortals there.
You have?
I've only been in my monastery in my entire life, besides when I was in Raiden's mansion, I thought.
Yeah.
But wait,
the 3 months you're missing?
Then totally perhaps I misheard.
To the Silver Mountains.
No, well, I do have some time unaccounted for, so who are the immortals? What is going on with that?
The Oni?
It's a less negative term for Oni, yes. The Oni never die.
And they all just live on these Silver Frost Mountains?
A good collection of them. Most tend to wander like myself. But specifically the Pale Oni, the Shiro Oni, they live in the Silver Mountains.
The white ones.
They like to think of themselves as such. Self-righteous.
Why would I go there, if you would happen to guess?
I honestly do not know. Ray asked me about certain customs of entering with a new unknown individual, and I gave him the information, and when he mentioned who he was speaking of, I thought he was referring to you. So
he might have been. Who knows?
Well, that's why I made this, and I'll pull out the wolf hyssop.
Guys, what if I'm buddy with Raiden, and And
what if you're married to him? What if?
He would never. She's not attractive. She's not like cool. That wouldn't be something that. But no,
I don't want to pressure you into it, but your memories would be the most useful out of the three of us. If you don't want to
why
take
did you
it,
remember again?
that's
What are we
okay.
trying to figure out?
You just had the
3
longest
months
time.
you're missing?
Yeah.
You're missing 3 months. I'm missing 1 month. Nemo's only missing a week.
Like a week, yeah.
Right.
So,
And we're just trying to
out of
figure out.
everyone,
You also
what the
had
heck
some
is
sort
going
of
on?
deal written, by the way, Kanari, but the deal has been forgotten.
I sold my soul. I'm secretly a warlock, guys.
When you get your memories back, you level up into a warlock.
That would be awesome. That would be so
super
cool.
I actually like that future game idea thing. That's super cool.
That would be awesome.
I'll think about that. That's kind of cool, actually. Anyway, okay. I guess I don't know. Just
I need to show this to the herbalist guy that I need some help from, to show him that I'm competent.
Yeah, sure. No worries. We could put it off a day or a few or a couple of months, however long.
I'm not afraid to take it myself.
No, I'm not afraid, obviously. Afraid? I mean, come on. You see me? I'm just... What if I hate myself even more? I don't need that, okay?
I mean, I honestly don't know if that's possible. Can you hate yourself more than you already do? I'm sorry, your self-esteem is just not great. And that's coming from me. That's sad.
In the back of your mind, Kanari. It's like, I mean, she's not wrong. It is a sad level of self-esteem, Kanari. You really should work on this.
I've been trying to work on this with you, but...
I mean, it doesn't help when your best friend tells you he doesn't want to talk. Anyway, never mind. It's fine.
Tell her.
Not in front of Gabe. I don't know him at all, Kai.
Okay, we're gonna follow up on that later, because you did the weird thing where you just stared off into space, which is weird because you're blind.
With facial expressions that cross your face.
Yeah, like the facial, like
you do the weird twitchy face thing. So we're gonna bring that up later. In less mixed company. But for now, Giva, I think we're good. So we're gonna do that thing.
I was going to comment that I would like to bid adieu for the evening. Is there anything else you wanted me to find information about, though?
I mean, if you're just, picking around and you happen to learn about...
I do not appreciate what I do being called picking around, but yes, that is what I do.
He means well.
Is it the Painters Guild? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Painters Guild.
The Painters Guild?
Oh, yeah. If you'd like to find out about them, apparently one of them is undead and another...
Okay, so long story short, Lusitania, I'm pretty sure, hired the Painters Guild to come kill us. So that's been something fun that we've been dealing with.
That does seem
we're gonna get on that and take out those assassins, guys. And we need to track down Hangwon Jun. Give gave me this flare thing, and he thinks if anyone's going to bring back a toll, it's this guy.
Yes, I would suggest not doing it within the city walls. But if you do within the city walls, know that it draws not only the attention of Hangwon Jun's people, but also possibly the attention of any other power that would be interested in words written in the Oni script.
Yeah, how far out of the city would we need to do that?
As far out as you feel... Think of it as a firework. As far out as a firework would be visible.
Cool. So imagine I've never set off a firework. How far would you recommend that?
Just to be safe, perhaps a half a day travel.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. So
good luck.
Just to summarize, guys. Thanks, Keeve. Summarize.
So information about the tribes.
Yes.
And then, so what's going on with the tribes? What's going on with the Painters Guild? Yes.
Yes.
What's going on with Lady Lusitania now? She's up to something still.
She's here.
Is she working for the Honorous?
She's here. Do you think the Honorous is an Oni too?
No, that would be troublesome, wouldn't it?
They are immortal. The resurrections that happen, just be faking their death. Who knows?
Now that's also an interesting thought. Because as far as I know, I honestly can't think of a successful resurrection. So yes, any resurrections that you may have heard of, perhaps it wasn't actually a resurrection at all.
Conspiracy
Worth a shot.
theories, guys. Open your eyes. You who are able to see what the blind already know.
I mean, Jezrien, after the fight with Coagamus, definitely got replaced with an Oni. The Honorous, probably an Oni. Lusitania ended up being an Oni.
Oh, no, wait.
Yes, he is. We knew that.
No, I know. I forgot. Sorry.
He does shift to his blue skin version of himself, actually.
That don't matter to her.
Oh, it's true. You're right. It doesn't. And he's like, oh, this matters not to her. Anyway, +1. Did you want anything researched yourself? Referring to Inala.
Inala, you're the +1. +1.
Oh, I'm glad you said just one. I was like, the just one.
The hirelings +1.
I can't think of anything at the moment, so no.
Okay, then. Then have a wonderful evening, and good luck.
As soon as...
Hey, wait, hold on. One more thing. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
So, do you think... You said Raiden's not the same as when you first met him. Do you think something might have corrupted his Kira? Or his soul?
Now that is the question, actually. Because as far as I understand, the man I agreed to serve wouldn't do something like this. So therefore, something must have changed. As far as I understand,
something might have changed him.
The only thing that can affect someone's actions and will, desires, is something that affects their soul. Perhaps some sort of poison affecting them, causing his soul to not quite act right.
Maybe a journal of Xianwei?
Possible. Is there such a journal in his hands?
He could have gotten his hands on it.
That's quite possible, then. Quite possible.
Well,
Xianwei
we're probably screwed. So that's good.
Yes, Xianwei himself dealt a lot with souls and caused much damage to himself in so doing. It would not be insane to me if there was such a spell within the book that could cause such damage to Raiden himself. And Raiden is foolish enough to attempt such things without knowing consequences.
Yeah, when I talked to him, he didn't really seem like the most stable kind of guy.
How?
Xianwei, not Raiden.
Oh, you spoke to... Wait, confusion, yes?
How long has Raiden been different than he used to be?
As far as I understand, this only this soul curse on the three of you is something out of character for him. The last time I heard from him before you all came into play, he seemed himself.
And that would have been before the Aeltris was stolen from him?
Yes.
Before it was stolen, did he use it? Or did he just, have it?
The goal that Raiden has presently is to be stronger than everyone else in his kingdom.
Yeah,
the strongest...
he wants to be the Rex Regis or whatever. Fight the guy, take him down.
Yes.
Basic, actually similar to Goliath.
I assume this stone is a part of his ultimate plan to defeat all of his opponents, to become the Lord Protector of Alakar.
Well, we're probably going to die in the next 6 months. So that's really fun.
Don't be so negative.
4 if we're not careful.
You've all survived thus far, and therefore, especially you, looking at Nemo, is surprising. So perhaps this is a good omen that you'll survive till the end of this.
We've been around,
that would be the
2
first good omen
at
we
this
thought.
point? 3? I don't know.
It was we're up to 4 or 5 now, aren't we? So
it's kind of not that an anomaly now for us.
Then perhaps the bad omens outweigh the good.
No, they're not bad omens. Don't be so superstitious.
We are the bad omens.
We should call ourselves the bad omens.
That was cool in my head. Sorry.
We really messed it up with Shadow's End.
Actually, calling it the bad omens.
Bad omens would be phenomenal.
That would
That's hilarious.
It's really cool.
Hey, your guys'
do that as
name. Shadow's End is your guys' above board name, and then Bad Omens is your under board name.
Underground.
Yeah, there we go.
I actually like that a lot.
Whenever we go into a fighting ring or secret, we're Bad Omens.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay, we're gonna take a break here so that everyone can go to the bathroom and shake their lives up. I'm gonna get water and stuff, and then we'll come back and we'll start with Kanori's his up.
Fine. I do need to talk to Durlan and see him before that.
Oh yes.
Please, thank you.
Liz, you sent that in the wrong thing.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Oh, okay, Nathan, by the way, if you want to collect any magical components and stuff for spells that have paid for magical components, you should do that now as well.
I don't really. Well, I guess that one spell I could, but
yeah, that one spell definitely needs one, and then any revivify spells that you might be trying to use later or something like that.
I don't have any revivify spells.
Oh, that's good then. You should just glance through your spells anyway and double check that you don't need any spell money.
Well, I need I need way higher level spells. I don't have.
No. Glyph of Warding is a second level spell that costs 300 gold for something. To be fair, though, it's a lot of wizard spells that have more cost.
You said revivify.
If we had Revivify, we wouldn't be having one of our problems.
Revivify is like a 5th level spell.
No, it's not. Revivify is a 3rd level spell.
It's a 3rd?
Yeah.
Wait, isn't Revivify like within an
You're
hour
talking about
from
Resurrection.
dying?
Resurrection is a 5th level spell.
Yeah, Revivify is like within 10 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah. I know, but I'm saying if you are going to pick that spell up eventually, you need diamonds for that. And even if you pick it up because of your subclass ability to just remember certain spells from the past and everything, you still won't be able to cast it unless you have the diamonds. So you might want to just get one in case. Up to you if you ever think that you will get that, but...
I mean, I don't think there's going to be a need. I feel like if one of us dies, we're going to die, so...
That's just
I guess that's a great way for the magical user of the group.
Well, no, I'm saying like if one of I feel like at this point, if one of us dies, the rest of it either they're not going to be accessible for 10 minutes or we're all.
How is that at all an actual thing? Why would you think that has to be the way?
Huh?
You did die, and we had to use the God's Blood Pearl to bring you back.
Yeah, because we were in the desert in the middle of nowhere.
Well, you wouldn't.
But if we had Revivify, we wouldn't have had to use
bring
that.
someone.
But I'm saying at this point,
now,
where any of us are going to die, where it's not me. If maybe Anala not, but I feel like if any of the pieces of our group die, that's not me. The rest of the group's not gonna it's not gonna be.
That's true.
So
I don't anticipate any of you surviving a fight that kills me.
To be fair, though, you're taking the main damage, though. You guys haven't fought anything that deals like 78 damage all in one go, you know? So, like, when you guys come upon those things, Karhale or
We'll
Kanara
all
will probably be
die.
the first out.
Yeah, and we'll all die.
Assuming that you stick around. If one of you guys dies, I hope the rest of you guys get out.
And leave the other person. It's the same difference. If we leave them.
Well, you could revivify them and then get the heck out of Dodge. Because that's what normal people would do if they had those abilities.
Get your logic
How long
and
does
smart
Revivify
thinking out
take
of
to
here.
cast?
It's
an action.
instantaneous.
It's one action?
That's why you use it in battles. That's why clerics are a thing.
Broken. What the heck?
That's why
it's like
death
a
is easier
defibrillator
in D&D kind of thing. But I don't want it to be that easy, so
she's making it kind of difficult on us for like resurrection for people who are like dead. But you know, if you had Thea instead of Karhale, you guys would have been fine. Atoll would be alive if I was playing a different character. This is fine.
It's fine.
How though? You don't have third level spells.
Because Thea has Revivify.
Thea?
She would have 3. You have third
Thea,
level.
a seventh level cleric does in fact have Revivify.
But in this campaign, she wouldn't be 7th level.
Even 6th level. Even 6th level, you would have it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I have it on her spell list. I know she has it. I put it on her spell list.
I'm not.
You're speaking about things you don't understand.
I'm just tired. No, I'm not thinking third
clerics.
level. I don't know why I'm thinking.
She can't do resurrection until level 9. But you know, if we want to,
I don't know why I've been casting third level spells for weeks now. I'm just sleepy.
So fun.
Oh, Karhale. So you will just say that you pick up your axe and everything. Not axe, your hammer.
Yes.
After you're finished with your potion, so you can add that silver back to your your thing. So your attacks count as magical now.
Yay! Which is great for Oni, so I can actually kill an Oni.
Yeah.
Because man, I didn't start making headway on Kushimbo until Harim.
Atoll actually softened him up a lot. Oh, sorry, not Kushimbo. Nide.
Harim, the cleric guy, cast arcane weapon or something like that.
He gave
my
me
hammer.
Weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, and that helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness, because Kanari almost died. I still didn't go below half my hit points. Mm-hmm. Now I'm back down to 66. R.I.P. man.
Oh yeah.
I permanently down 15 hit points.
Oh, okay. So this is gonna be interesting.
So I am permanently down 15 hit points.
By the way,
in case anyone forgot.
If I'm really out of it, it's because I've been getting these really bad migraines for the last week, and now I have one. So I don't know why I've been getting them, but it's not that I'm miserable. I'm just
go to a chiropractor.
I appreciate the wording.
I don't have money for that anymore because I have to pay for my own health insurance,
and
they're not covered.
It's the pain.
I was telling her eye strain. I started getting.
Well, these are my blue light glasses. So
I started getting computer migraines, which no amount of chiropractic will fix those.
It's like I turned 26 and I've had all these problems now for the last week.
You're old now.
That sucks though.
Yeah, you know.
Don't tell her that, Erin.
My brother's
already struggling.
They like to remind me that I'm over the halfway mark to 50 now. It's like being 50. And I'm like, great.
Terrible boys, terrible.
I know.
It is not like being 50.
Well, it's like over the halfway mark because 25 was the halfway mark.
Yeah, so you have to live your life a whole nother time before you hit 50.
Listen, I don't have the energy.
Yeah, but your life goes down from now on. It's not exactly.
That's an interesting way to think about it.
Shut up, Nathan.
It's like you're 1 year old again.
Yeah.
Except everything can go wrong now.
Nathan,
and I have bills.
Nathan, why do you suck?
Nathan, why do you suck?
I'm in the same exact boat.
You're 24. You're still a baby.
I am like 2 months away from being at my halfway point.
You're halfway
Get
there.
ready for your quarter life crisis. was fantastic.
Okay, that's really accurate. Okay, so back into this, kids. Before we go to Wolf Hyssop, Karhale, you show up at Durlon with a perfected.
I was going to say when Guy
sorry.
remember?
Say it. Yeah, before Guy
it was
leaves
already
the room.
kind of, we already
Guy
kind
also
of
will tell you, by the way, because I remember you guys wanting to know about the ethereal, right? Like where to contact him and stuff. And he does reiterate to you guys that a lot of the ethereal have been wiped out of the city because of the recent, raising of informed characters that are a part of the ethereal and stuff. So the only one he knows about that's still up.
If anyone's finding them, it's you.
Is a jewelry shop. That's what he's discovered recently. He's not getting back connected again though, because it seems like they're staying hidden in the woodwork kind of thing. Like the ethereal are laying low really right now. Okay. So if you guys seek them out, they're probably going to be a little bit. So he does tell you the same code phrase that you guys know. The precious stones are beautiful. They are what make life worth living. And he says that you can use that code phrase. And assumedly, since the precious jewelry shop is still open, they should still be in charge and still be a part of the ethereal. But that's the only one he knows that's still like functioning and isn't vacated the city.
Okay.
And then what do you say, Kanari, before he leaves?
Oh no, not before he leaves. After he leaves. I was waiting for till after he left.
Oh,
but I already kind of
then farewell, my friends.
Yes.
I hope you have a wonderful evening, and good luck with all of your ventures. And he switches back to his red-headed, more half-elfin look to him, and he leaves.
Nice. Guys, what if, now this is just a long shot, okay? But what if the Aeltress is powerful, but you only get that power, the more you get more powerful, the more you lose yourself to it. And so once Raridan became dependent on it, when he lost the Aeltress and got stolen, he went crazy because it's like a drug. You know, you don't have the drug, you can't even function as normal once you're so dependent on it. Do you know what I'm saying here? Anyway, the point is, so when Raridan got it stolen, he went crazy, and he's like, I need this back to function in my day-to-day life. So he went crazy trying to get it back.
So he's basically Schmeagol.
I'm pretty sure if that was the case,
yeah,
he wouldn't need us. I'm pretty sure he would just get it himself if that was the case.
He's crazy.
Well, why go through the trouble of doing it himself when he's crazy enough to make other people
do it? He's also got things back there he needs to do.
It's taking us 3 times as long as it would have taken him.
Not necessarily. He also has a recognizable face, and he also kind of has things to do in Alethkar.
And his power is limited here, apparently. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's probably not right. I'm just saying the timing is interesting. That the Aeltress was gone. He went crazy.
You do have a good point.
Because everyone we talked to who knew him said, I'm surprised he's like this now. He wasn't like this that long ago. Like, I'm just saying. It's kind of weird.
What? No, exactly how he sounded.
You've got a good point.
I'm good at voice acting, okay? That's what I'm my calling.
After this whole, random business, I'm going to go into the performance.
Kanari becomes an actress.
That'd be so bad. Anyway.
So, what was the thing you were being dodgy about when Geef was here, Kanari?
That was it. Oh, dodgy? Oh,
yeah, you were being dodgy about something.
I don't know what you could be.
You were doing that. I asked you a direct question, and then you did that thing where you kind of like stare off into space and you make these weird twitchy faces.
Do you make a weird twitchy face when you're talking to me? Says Ty.
Do I? I don't know if I did. Is that a thing?
You're doing it again.
Crap. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I gotta work on my what do they call it? Cake face? No, smooth face. I really can't remember the word.
Poker face.
Poker face.
Cake face.
I thought that was Isabel being funny, like pretending Panari doesn't know what that word is.
I forgot what it was, so I pretended that Kanari didn't know, rolled with it, but I genuinely did forget. So I just rolled.
Good role playing.
Thank you.
A+.
Poker face.
The bodiless voice of the world itself tells you.
Yeah.
No, that was Ty. Duh. Poker face.
Oh, you're doing it again.
That's talking to Ty sometimes, in my head. I guess I make faces. It just happens. Sorry about that.
You name the voices in your head?
No, she's not a real one.
Yeah, no,
she's
just like, she lives with me.
It's like a spirit thing that's attached to her soul, like kind of like a parasite, but in a nice way.
Whoa, not a parasite.
That doesn't make it sound
it's
okay.
It's like it could take over her entire being at any point and command her to do whatever it wants too. It's pretty cool.
Do you know
that?
I think
you were
nice.
really quick with that response there, Nemo. Care to elaborate why you know so much about it?
Yeah, why do you know
Jupiter?
Do you know
in the
that?
same, same thing going on?
I have no idea what you're saying.
Okay.
Jupiter next to you is like, that sounds crazy, really.
Yeah.
Jupiter's just his other soul.
Does she think you're crazy? Because
I think Inala is
like
the only person that does not have another spirit attached to her.
As far as I know.
What's your spirit, Krahale?
The bear.
My totem spirits. And no.
Right.
Yeah.
Inala's the only person without a spirit.
Why are
attached
you
to her.
here? I feel
know.
like you're just too sane for us.
It's like she's what's everyone's superpower? She makes good life decisions.
It's basically the opposite.
Sounds like a superpower.
Basically the opposite of me. What I wish I could be in real life.
There you go. All of our
vicariously.
Genius characters, kind of.
Okay, so Kanari, you're just gonna dodge that. I'm gonna allow it because we have more important things to deal with, like getting a toll back, in case everyone forgot.
No, right. That's obviously the point. I'm not.
So
I will be open with you as when we have time for that, Karhala. It's a step that I will take when we have time.
Whenever you're ready for that step, that's fine. I don't really care if it's not affecting us directly right now. Okay, we're going to use this flare at some point to get Hongwan Jun to come here, and it's supposedly going to signal the Shira Oni to come here. It's supposed to signal danger, so he might be kind of pissed at us that we used it. Because I think Gives stole this from them. But it'll get them here, and then we can get Nemo to talk him into bringing a toll back, and then everything will be okay.
Why am I talking or convincing?
Because people listen to you for some stupid reason.
They don't really.
I don't pretend to understand or care. I just know that it works.
You don't listen to me, so inherently that's flawed.
That's because I know you.
Listen, people listen to you. You don't mind running your mouth. It works.
I never run my mouth.
Okay, so we've got some priorities right now. First of all, getting a toll back. Second of all, getting these assassins off our back. Third, I had a third.
The Aeltress, maybe? Or actually,
I feel like
can't
it's
say that word.
We can.
Oh, okay.
I think you can now since she's already aware because it's not new information. Or
okay.
No,
it's not new information to Inala. Okay. And then everyone's probably each got their own personal priority. Like Inala's got her thing, I've got my thing, Nemo's got his thing, Kanari's got her thing. So after we get the Aeltress, I'm probably gonna split with you guys.
Well,
Wow, that was like pretty sudden.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right,
I mean-
that makes sense. I mean, duh. Why would you stick around
yeah,
us?
I didn't really like you guys either.
Yeah,
Like,
so I don't. Maybe if he opens the wrong direction here, if you're just gonna. Never mind.
Sorry. I just talked to Trig. And he kind of said,
friend, I think.
Yeah, friend from back home. And he kind of set my priorities straight a bit. I know the earth is dragging me deeper and deeper into this mess. But my responsibility still lies with my tribe. I know none of you have really cared to ask, but I'm kind of supposed to be chieftain. And
you have to, or you want to?
Kicked out.
My responsibility still lies with my tribe. I still have to go back.
You don't have to do anything, Carholly. You have the freedom to choose what
once
you want to do with
once
yourself.
you kill your uncle, then can't you do what you want?
That's the point. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna kill him.
Frog?
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna kill him. And then I'm going to take my tribe back. That's like the whole thing.
Okay.
I thought I had a little bit more time, but that's why I asked Give about whatever was maybe corrupting Raoden's soul. There's something in my tribe, like an infection of the spirit that's spreading from Vidar to even those with the purest spirits.
Did they have an Aeltress that got stolen from them?
No, but I'm hoping whenever we get transport for Yili, Lucia will owe each of us a favor, and I was hoping to cash that favor in to see what exactly it is that corrupted him. But I can't do that yet because we have to do this thing, and then we have another thing we have to do, and apparently I need to come back to Lakeskeep immediately, or else everyone's going to die.
Kahale, just take a breath. One thing at a time.
I took a breath for the past week and a half. That was me taking a breath.
You're doing great. And we are all proud of you. So
I'm gonna
don't
pat Kanari on the shoulder and be like, yes, Carholly, we're so proud of you.
Okay, being serious, once we get the ethereal to help us with Yuli, I need to go.
Wait, what did you say?
I said we mean this, right? Like, am I not conveying this properly? What?
No,
You guys are conveying it. You're just not conveying it well. But I think she gets the point.
No, sorry. Once we get the
Eltress, no, we get it. Once we get the you're abandoning us
back,
and leaving us and leaving us to dry.
We
understand. It's okay.
Once we
get
the Eltress, once we get the Eltress, before we go back to Raiden, we need to go back to Havar so I can speak with Lucia, so I can figure out what happened when my father was killed and what's infecting my people.
If we have time, I'm for it. But once we have that Aeltress, we're going to be even more sought after than we are now.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to go somewhere where we've got some friendly faces, right?
I suppose, but we'd be bringing all those people down on them. I don't know. Maybe we can do it. I don't know.
I'm fine going alone. I'm perfectly content to go alone. We could possibly get the soul curse taken off of us if this Hongwon Jun guy is helpful enough. We might be able to get the soul curse off of us so we can part ways and call this a bad memory. No offense to you guys. You guys are all great, but these past few months have been really bad. Like, really bad.
They have, for sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'm glad you're
What
leaving
is-
LA.
Do you guys secretly hope that you don't find it and then you're all stuck together forever? You guys
No,
great.
I
Well,
just
no,
meant-
because we only have 4 months, and then we're dead.
I definitely
This
want,
is the
I want
worst.
the Eltress.
I mean,
You
I
guys
wouldn't
are
mind if you
really
guys.
bad at conveying your emotions.
No, I
I'm
want
great at conveying my
I
emotions.
wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the other two.
Yeah, I want the Eltress. I definitely do.
Yeah, you want the Eltress,
for
but you don't
yourself.
want to give it back to Raiden. I know
Why would I
you.
give it
You
back
don't
to
want to
him?
give it back to Raiden.
No.
You probably are gonna run off the first chance you get to keep the Eltress for yourself.
I would never run off.
I don't believe you.
Can't. Because you can't.
You wouldn't now because you can't, but if you were not literally going to die by separating from us, you totally would.
No, I would definitely get the Eltress first.
So you're saying after we get the Eltress to Raiden, you would want to go with me back to my tribe so I can kill my uncle and take my tribe back?
Well, we need to kill Raiden first, but then yeah.
We're not killing Raiden,
Well,
right? We're not killing Raiden.
I
We
don't
can have-
know. We don't know anything about him at this point.
we
so
can have a group discussion about this later.
Well, that's
But
why
Right
I
now,
made the
we'll put
wolf
a
hiss up.
tentative yes.
We're not killing Raiden.
Oh,
Ooh, that was
wow.
loud.
That was very loud. I don't know what that was. Sorry.
Nemo got an
Anyway.
Emmy mail?
Yeah, so
I just want you to know, Aaron, that your pie is good if you keep it in the fridge for at least several months.
Wait, that's the same pie that I made you
No
when I
answer.
visited you at Christmas?
I love that so much. And hey, pie keeps really well.
You put it in the freezer, right?
That's disgusting.
Oh, you said the fridge. and
Oh,
was
I meant the
very
freezer. I'm sorry.
She
the
did
freezer.
definitely say
Ooh,
fridge,
freezer.
but I knew what she
Freezer
meant.
is good.
I understand
Okay.
Isabel's language.
The
I'm being real
freezer
right
is
now.
good for many, many months.
Did it go
What'd
off?
you say?
I think that's what I heard, yeah.
Oh, it's real.
I
Ah,
look weird, but it's okay.
my phone.
Time
Okay,
to
My
so-
phone's gone.
We're going to conversations continuing probably, but we're gonna slide through. So Durlan, Karhale,
Yes.
I feel like we can kind of
Have a
slide
thing.
through the Durlan encounter there, but if you bring it to him, he'll see that it is perfect, and he will be willing to let you work with him. So what exactly was the exchange that you were leveling with him?
Are we like gonna actually role play this out?
No, I was going to for sake of brevity, just kind of meet out what
Okay.
was going to happen.
Oh, I had a whole
Sorry,
thing written.
picking and choosing what we role play.
More of I'm not just good, I'm better than good. And what's better than that is I've got motivation and time, and I'm giving him the opportunity to take advantage of that.
Okay, and he will hire you on.
Given that his work is in high demand.
He will hire you on with 5 gold a day that you spend working with him. He
Okay.
makes a good amount of cash, and he expects a high level of skill kind of thing. And you have shown such skill being able to brew something like complicated like that outside of the lab that he has. So you have access to his lab now, as well as a bit of a discount on some of the potions and ingredients. Well, no, ingredients, not the potions.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he'll so anytime that you spend off basically just doing your own thing, you can spend working with him for 5 gold a day.
I did have a question for him.
Mhm.
That shouldn't take too long.
Okay. As he's
There's
been
a two-part
overviewing your
question.
stuff and everything, he's been very split focused between you as well as something he's been working on presently. Something that's smoking and fizzing.
I had a question. So the Hydra venom that you wanted me to get, are you trying to replace the need for the Bright Eye Spider, or augment it to make it more powerful, or reduce the poison
augmentation
risk?
entirely. Augmentation. In essence, I want to remove any of the threat that the original venom might bring and leave only the benefits. If it works, it will come out this way. But we shall see.
So I have an idea. So dream moss.
Steam is blue. Yes, you see blue steam?
I do.
Okay, good. And he puts lowers his goggles. Say that again. Dream moss. On the second shelf to the right, down below within the... What?
It lets you see past the surface of the world we know, right?
Yes, that is the general definition of dream moss and its abilities.
And you know the shaitan that can change their form.
Yes, the shaitan can change their form.
So the dream moss would be too weak on its own, but I'm wondering if you'd be able to use it with something more powerful.
I see.
With an enchanting property like Bright Eye. Or Hydra venom.
It does have a similar function to the way true sight and things that cause true sight have. If you could
maybe Bright Eye
something more
to see past the illusion.
Potent. I like the idea. I think it's possible. It would take experimentation and multiple failures, I'm sure, to get there. But yes, I can see it working.
Well, Lorca didn't achieve greatness by playing it safe, and neither will I.
Collect the Bright Eye. Use part of it for this, or the... I do have some Bright Eye at the ready. Are you speaking of the Hydra venom, though?
Whichever... I was going to leave that to...
The Bright Eye will have more unstable effects than the Hydra venom might. But both, in theory, could work. In the same function.
Hydra venom would be safer to use. Bright Eye would be more powerful and more likely
in theory,
to
more
work.
stable. We would have to test first. But it is up to you. The Bright Eye venom is available, in which case it will cost you.
I'll try with Bright Eye. If that doesn't work, I can track down the Hydra for you.
It is 2,000 gold for the Bright Eye venom. Even at...
Is that the already made? Is that the already made potion?
It's just the serum itself for Bright Eye venom.
Okay.
But the spell, the potion, the finished potion and everything is pretty expensive. It's a few thousand. Multiple thousand.
I was going to track down the Hydra anyway, so I might try my luck with the Hydra venom first.
I see. Then good luck with that. Pass me that right there.
All right. This is going to be fun.
I'm sure it will. And then something he's working on explodes, and he's like, yes! That is exactly what was supposed to happen. As he kind of like brushes the soot off of his face.
I love him. This is great. Perfect. That was it. That was all I had.
Okay. So, Konari, were you warned of the possible after effects of such a potion?
Was I? I don't know.
Yeah, I would have told her. Okay, so there is the possible bad side effects of danger to the conscious and spiritual mind.
What does that mean? It's a lot of big words.
I don't know.
Okay.
I've never taken it. I've never made it. But I can assure you, this is perfect.
So possible damage to the what again?
The conscious and spiritual mind.
Oh.
So,
all right.
Liz, would I be able to make a check to see if there's any tea or something that could give her a bonus to whatever save she's got to make.
I was just about to see what tea I had on stock.
Oh.
But I don't know what kind of save she's going to need to make.
That's fair.
So I was hoping maybe I could make a check to figure it out.
Something to give her a little oomph. I would say go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Okay. Because I know like several of my teas will give you like.
Can I could just make check because I like tea.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if you really need to because I rolled a 22.
I rolled 21, so.
Oh,
you and me, girl.
In trying to think through what might give you a little bit of a boost in going into something like this, which both of you, it's kind of an untested area for Lorkai as well as yourselves, but in a general assumption with that high of a roll, we'll go with plausibly. I have anything here.
I'll just drink all the teas and be like super powered for like an hour. It'd be
fine. There's a tea that does advantage on wisdom saving throws. There's one that I could just do the one that adds a D4 to skill checks for an hour. There's advantage to con saves.
I would say actually the one that gives you advantage to wisdom checks.
I was kind of thinking wisdom, but
yeah. This is more to do with her mind because this is going to be her mind seeking out the knowledge that's been hidden within itself.
Okay, so
I
would
get out my
that might come from
teapot and we boil.
Do you have that one?
I have a teapot. I don't know which one is it.
No. You have the tea.
I think so. Which one?
Wisdom save. Where are you? I swear I just saw it. The flower tea.
The elderflower tea. Yeah, I have that one. Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome!
I have a lot of tea, so like a lot of tea. It's a problem.
Beautiful.
Anyway,
so this tea would probably help. I can't say whether or not it would, but it probably will.
Helps everything. So might as well try.
Entirely true, and I agree with you.
Something that we can bond over.
Drink this when I'm making potions, and that would probably help my focus. Sorry, continue.
You're good. Okay.
So she drinks her tea, and then
you go to sleep, and you will automatically wake up with a point of exhaustion, no matter what, because it's hard on your mind. Beyond that, though,
I'm so nervous. Okay.
So this what happens may come to a point where everyone has to like turn off their earbuds and everything so that I can explain to her its own, but we'll see what happens. So, Kanari, you go to sleep and immediately you're in the darkness that's about to open to the memories of Ty, but instead of opening to the memories of Ty, you instead come upon not where you can visually see anything at all, but your senses awaken to your surroundings, and you are at the bottom of what you know to be Coel's Mountain, being Raoden's mountain, where his mansion is located, his castle at the top of this mountain. And you know that what you seek, the knowledge that you want, is up.
Oh,
and you have to go up.
All right.
So
let's go.
She starts climbing.
As you start running, you recognize the path because you've walked this before and you don't have memory of doing so, but you know this path itself. You've come up and down this mountain a few times now, and being blind as you are, you have to memorize certain paths to be able to not have to worry about where you're going and directions and whatnot. So you follow the path that your brain muscle memory knows as you run up. As you're running through this forest that makes up the bottom of the mountain, there's different creatures that are about that, and you know that they represent the magic that is keeping you back from knowing certain things and the knowledge that you know to be at the top of this mountain. So, roll me initiative, please.
Oh, that's bad initiative. It's okay. Bad rolling initiatives, it's fine. 8.
8? Okay.
Yes, bad initiative, but it's okay. We got this.
There's not multiple creatures, but you know in your own knowledge, being none of the area that you're in, this mountain itself holds many creatures that cause danger to any unwanted visitors. Here, though, the only creatures you sense are 2 seemingly guardians of the knowledge, probably magically induced by the same curse that holds back these memories from you.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh. What did you roll again?
An 8.
An 8. You moved before 1.
Oops. Oh, 1. Okay.
But the other swoops in. You hear what almost sounds like a whale's call. Not that Konori knows what a whale is, but that just this call going out between the 2 creatures themselves, as well as the words spoken to your mind, because these creatures had telepathy like you do. The words saying, "These memories are not for you. Turn back and leave them behind." As it attacks you with Actually, the creature itself, as it's kind of undulating in the air, and you can feel it swimming at a distance from you, right at the edge of your feeling vision. You feel it switching from its regular form and changing shape into a wolf as it does so. A very large wolf.
Oh boy.
And it bounds towards you to... But no, actually that's its action. In that form, switching down, you may move second.
Okay, so there's 2 things that I'm fighting, basically.
Mm-hmm. One is it's up in your melee space presently, and it's about to attack you next turn for it, and the other one is at a space you're moving before it.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take a swing with my chaos staff at the one that's closest to me. So 15 to hit.
15 does hit. Do you keep running as you're doing so, by the way? Like, keep going up?
Yeah.
Okay. 15 does hit.
Okay, so let me do... Where is my D8? I was not prepared for this. Okay. Okay, so 8 points of psychic damage. And then...
I'm so sorry. Your chaos staff is not a part of this. It is only you and your fists. If there is... in flavor, your mind could imagine the chaos staff, but it'll still be the same as though you're just hitting with your fists.
Okay, 1d6.
Sorry about that.
I'm just kidding. No, that's fine. Okay, that's 6 points of damage then.
Okay. And you hear its call kind of shiver and vibrate instead of being its clear, calm call. It shivers. What do you do?
I'm going to use a key point to do stunning strike on it.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so con save, right?
Yes, con save 14.
Does not pass. So
Sweet.
This one freezes where it is, and the wolf itself frozen in your path as you run around it.
I keep running. Do I pass the second one as well?
Yes, it is in your path as well.
I will take a swing at that one as well.
Ooh.
17 to hit.
Does a... Oh, yes, that hits. Sorry.
Okay, cool. 17 to hit, and then that is 9 points of damage to that one, and I also do stunning strike on that one.
I'm so sorry. This one does not hit. I misunderstood something. Since it changes form to a wolf, I was using the wolf AC. Its AC is actually 19, so it does not hit.
Oh.
I think the other one doesn't hit as well, but we'll leave it as having hit because we already did the stun and strike and all that.
Okay.
But this one does not hit. As you go in to strike it, it almost like it's still in its other form, this otherworldly form. The non-wolf one.
Okay.
You didn't do higher than a 19, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So when you go to strike this one, it kind of undulates and a part of its body almost disappears as your hand goes straight through it as you keep on running. Any bonus actions?
Yeah. Well, I will use a bonus action to do Step of the Wind and keep running.
Ooh, probably smart. So you Step of the Wind and keep running. You can feel this creature flying after you. What is your speed?
It is 45 feet.
45 feet. Step of the Wind gives you double that, right?
Yes. 90
so
feet.
You'll have 90 feet. This thing is keeping up with you evenly as it's flying through the forest after you, but you don't see the other one. The other one is presently not there. So as you are speeding through this forest, going up, and you can feel yourself drawing closer, you sense this creature coming up toward you and flying even with you at a certain point as it turns to bite you. And it turns to bite you and try to slow you down, basically. So it bites you once, and then it will try to grapple you as its second attack instead. So first one will be does a I believe a 21 hits, correct?
Yeah.
As the bite comes in, it latches onto your ankle and yanks you back as it tries to grapple you secondarily. So the damage that you take for that is only 8 points of piercing damage. But give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Oh boy. Constitution 16.
16. You do not feel any ill effects as you take that damage, but the creature does try to grapple you and hold you back. Go ahead and roll me contested either athletics or acrobatics to fight against the twisting as it curls itself around you, trying to hold you back. All the time, whispering in your mind, you don't want to know. You don't need to know. He doesn't want you to know.
I got a 25.
25. You slip right out of its coiling snake-like grip, and you keep on running. You stumble to the ground, and then you're back up on your feet, and you're taking off again. That was its actions. Your turn, ma'am.
Okay. Do I know roughly how far I have to go to get to the top still?
Say it again.
Do I know roughly how far I have to go to get to the top still?
At this point, you know that you'll make it there in your next turn, after this next turn of yours.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and just say, well, unfortunately, it's not my decision. And I will just, I will use my action and my movement speed to get up the rest of the way to the mountain. So.
Okay. As you come up onto the top of the mountain and this creature is trying to run at the same speed as you, it's going to use its action to try one more time. But this time it's more of a, well, I guess you accept the consequences then, whisper into your mind. And it will go to bite you one more time. And I assume a 21 hits again.
I'm going to use my reaction to roll my martial die and see if I can get it to not hit me. So we'll see. No, I have a 19.
Reflexes. Oh,
it's okay.
Okay. Okay, so it goes in to strike you, and that's going to be a 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
And as you do, though, you make it to what is the giant fountain before the main gate going up into the castle. And this fountain, you know that the liquid flowing is probably glowing because that's what you need to partake in to drink for you to remember, because those are those memories. So as you make it to the fountain, you reach down and you sip from the memories themselves, and you fall in. So do you want them to be present for this, or do you want to be alone?
Oh, this is for my memories with Raiden, right?
Yep.
And I'm in a good mood. I'll let you guys all stay because I'm secretive enough. It's okay. I don't want to be that person. So, okay.
Okay. So, and it's totally okay too. Matt Mercer had those moments of everyone leaving the table, you know? It's kind of fun too.
It is fun, but it's okay.
So, Kanari's memories. Kanari, you go back to that day where you were rescued from the desert after you're attacked by Jen Yin and left to die out there, and him taken away to who knows what. You're rescued by a man who's cursing and sputtering as he stumbles out of a portal he made himself and stumbles to your side, heals you so that you're not on the verge of dying anymore, and takes you back to where he was from. The man who saved you was Raiden Coel, and you met him in this very high tension, high stressful scenario. And when you wake up, you initially start by attacking him because he's the one who greets you like at your bedside kind of thing. You immediately attack him, give him a bloody nose and everything. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not your enemy. I saved your life. I just want to help, etc., etc. And you don't stop wailing on him until he says, I can help your friend. I can help Jen Yin. And he knows the name, and that's what stops you, because that freaks you out, and you back off, and you're like, okay, how do you know who that is? How do you know who I am? Because he was using your name too. And totally freaks you out. And he's like, don't freak out. I can do what you can do. I can look into minds. I can see into minds, etc., etc. And he goes, listen, your friend is being affected by a sort of, and from there he ends up convincing you to listen to him, but to which he explains that Jen Yin is under a soul curse. He knows what Cielmancy is, and he explains to you what that is. A magical school, a school of magic that was a Hestrian school of magic, more practiced way, way back in ages ago, and something he has access to now because he has a book by Xian Wei, a collection of rituals and spells that Xian Wei has created way back when he was at the height of his power. And he has this book, and he knows that whatever was done to your friend can be undone by spells in this book. But he can't. So he wants to help you, is what he tells you. He wants to help with Jen Yin, but he has to be present with Jen Yin. So you're going to have to go get him, basically. And he'll help you do so if you will help him. Because he tells you, in this memory, Kanari, I've seen a future that is full of darkness. The same thing that happened hundreds and hundreds of years ago in the dark days is coming again. A thing that wiped out hundreds of people. It's returning. It wasn't vanquished. The gods did not destroy it. They just sent it away for a few minutes, for a few eons. And they're coming back. It is coming back. And the same powers that held it back before are not going to do it again. So unless someone does something now, it's going to wipe out everything again. And I will do anything to protect my people, Kanari. So, in exchange for me freeing your friend from the bondage he's been under for so long, would you help me save everyone? Please. And you had told him yes at the time, in exchange for saving Jen Yin, which you weren't sure at the time whether you cared or not about the rest of the world, but you cared about Jen Yin. So, you agreed to this, and in part of the plan to get Jen Yin out and part of the breaking of the spell that is on Jen Yin, he had to understand better the magic itself. So he brought you with him to go to speak to the immortals up in the Silver Mountains. He explained to you what the Oni were, information that you now have anew. Explained from his perspective was that the immortals were a group of creatures created during the Dark Days, whatever it was, the darkness itself that infected the world, created a new race of individuals, the Oni themselves. And the Oni themselves split into 3 different kinds. And those Oni could not die, and that's how they were so powerful, especially back then, and how damaging they had been. They've been majorly wiped out since because of all of the fallout that happened during the Dark Days, but the ones that remain are the Immortals. So he brings you up there to a beautiful mountain, what he calls the Cloud Recesses, a beautiful place with beautiful architecture. You know that they've been here for thousands of years based on how it's described to you by Raoden, and his excitement is contagious. He's kind and seemingly wholesome, probably the nicest kind of person that you've met living and growing within the monastery. He tells you about the way he was raised as part of a group of people, a country that he grew up always under threat by people of his same station. So as one of many high princes, all of them were vying for the throne, and therefore cutting off a prince here and there was probably the smart thing to do if you wanted to gain the throne someday. So he was under threat of assassinations all throughout his life. While you were there was probably 7 or 6 different assassination attempts on his life, by which case he defends himself by pretending to not be a threat to all of these other individuals. He pretends to be crazy and does crazy things periodically so that no one thinks him to be smart enough to win eventually. But that's the plan. So as he leads you to the Immortals and he introduces you to one called Lan Shichen as someone who is in charge of the Cloud Recesses presently, they explain to him how to break such a curse as one he says is mentioned in the book. It's not quite laid out how to do it, so he wouldn't be able to do the same curse that Genyin is under, but it's mentioned as like part of a different volume within the same series within that journal. There's multiple of the journals you come to find. There are specifically actually.
Well, that's not good.
Crap. I don't know where I put his thing. Oh, okay. So there are 5 volumes. He has 2 of them. And he's collected one from his friend and one from just his own searching for information about the Hestrian Age. The rest of them are in the wind somewhere, and he doesn't know where. But the Lan Shichen ends up explaining to you guys that such a spell can be broken through certain higher level spells, one of which they know. And so the plan had been that he would learn the spell from them, which he has, assumedly, and you would bring Genyin back to him, and he would break the spell upon Genyin. But you would have to force Genyin back because Genyin's under their control presently. And in explanation of the type of spell that they were using on him from his understanding of what he saw, is that they have complete control over his soul. Whether or not he desires to protect you and everything, if they have perfected the spell at this point, which they probably have with you gone, and no more real resistance from him, then he won't have any control over holding back or trying to help. His desire is their desire to mold as long as he is under the thrall of this spell. And so you are to go find him, but it will be under threat of plausible violence if Genyin is told to fight you and kill you. He does tell you that they have the control over killing him as well by holding control over his soul in such a way. There's multiple different spells that are listed as possible, as similar effects as that one, the thrall of the soul. One of them specifically says that they probably the wielder of his soul, kind of thing, the person who has control over his soul, will have an object that's connected to him. Another of the spells say that it is a phrase, a key phrase that they would use against him. So it's one of the two. And he's not sure which one it is because as of now, he could no longer like look in at him and check to see how he was doing because Tall has started erecting magical barriers between his eyes and the country itself, which is causing trouble with him trying to do reconnaissance on the area. He tells you, though, that he has a friend that is going about the area and can generally send him information that he needs whenever he needs it. But yeah, so he's going to send you there eventually. When you asked him why you were chosen by him to help him try to stop the darkness that's coming, he told you that part of his divination is part of what he used in looking to the future was the people that would be deeply affected by this darkness, people who would care more so about stopping it because they had some sort of personal hand in what was going on and what was going to be affected. And that's how he decided who to rally in fighting against this thing. And from your knowledge of this past version of Raiden and this knowledge of the present version of Raiden, they're dramatically different, the way he acts. And it's being reiterated to you how different. And you understand how all these people are like, that doesn't really sound like Raiden, because this guy, he's a good guy and he wants to help. Like, not just because it's his duty, but because he just cares inherently. So then, further into the memories, nearing the end of the memories, about 3 weeks, 4-ish weeks before all of the stuff went down and your memories match up, he was attempting a new spell that was within the book by Xianwei, a way to create a powerful magical relic capable of giving him almost double the magical power that he presently had. It was incredibly powerful. He told you briefly about it, and Darian, one of his bodyguard, told you that you saw multiple arguments between the two of them about Raiden. You shouldn't try this spell. You don't know what it's going to do exactly, how it's going to affect you, blah, blah, blah. Like all these arguments about it. And Raiden kind of just brushing aside the worries, brushing aside any of the consequences, like something has to happen. I need to be more powerful. If I'm going to make any kind of difference, I have to do this. So the night that he casts the spell, he comes out of the room with a large fist-sized stone, what seems to be almost like a purple, what's the type of stone that's purple?
A geode? Amethyst?
Amethyst, thank you.
Infinity stone.
Very similar to amethyst, and fist-sized, gleaming with bright magical energy. And he himself dramatically different from when he left. And from then on, the conversations that you guys have is less about his care and his desire to help and more his goals. I'm going to become king. I am going to rule. I am the most powerful sorcerer, the most powerful mage in Mesona presently. Like everything kind of took this not an entire 180, because he still had the same goals and the same intentions, but the personal investment in it, his earnest desire to help, was gone. Like from then on, you saw him mentioning that he was going to pluck people from their lives without any question of whether they wanted to or not. Mentioned that he found some spells within his book that would force individuals to do his bidding, whether they liked to or not. It was sounding dramatically similar to the people that controlled Zhen Yin, and it was very concerning to you. And when you questioned him, coming up sooner, closer to the time of when dates collide and your memory actually restarts again, Darian himself stops you from questioning him further and Darian pulls you aside later that night and tells you he's not sure what Raiden is capable of anymore. He's changed so much ever since that, and he points with like anger toward the Eldritch that Raiden never leaves behind, never sets aside, and he goes, maybe there's a way that I can separate it from him, because I feel like that's the problem right now. And with that, You don't see him that night. And then everything goes dark after you go to sleep. And that's where your memories match up. And that's where everything comes back. As you wake, any questions?
So he originally recruited us to help him stop the darkness that was coming.
He recruited you that way. Everyone else, not yet. Not quite that way. As far, you hadn't actually seen any of them before. Things, you kind of stayed within the palace that whole time, and he was doing other stuff, coming to and fro. You were kind of training on your own,
right?
Waiting
you said
for
a month,
the promise
to
come into.
My memories is when he did the Aeltris thing, and that's when,
give or take, yeah.
And Karhala came in about a month.
That's
before.
when I would have showed up.
And Nemo would have been like, okay. But so he just genuinely seemed like a good person, like a caring person.
Yeah.
Before. And
you have good insight, so you would have sensed ulterior motives probably at some point before then.
So it's something that, but obviously taking the Aeltris away from him didn't work, right? Like, I mean, he's still just as wild and crazy now.
He didn't really explain what the spell did, by the way. You and Darian weren't wizards, and it was in a language you guys both don't read too, so he would have shown it to you, but he would never explained exactly what it did. Darian seemed to know more, but Anne was a little bit more like skeevy about trying a spell in Xianwei's old journal kind of thing.
Right. But what he told us was supposed to give him more power.
Yeah. The spell upon you guys is this probably from that book.
Well, dang. I'm not sure what else to ask about, but that's crazy.
But you'll have your memories back, and as things come up, I might mention things. But those are the main factors of your lost memories. You did have the most personal interaction.
So she never almost kind of friends, like a little.
Yeah. No, honestly, there was definitely a camaraderie there of like probably your second only ever best, like not best friend, but like good friend kind of thing. Because he truly did want to help you and Jenyan. He thought that you guys deserved a second chance at a life not controlled by the monastery.
And now he's controlling us. Oh boy, Nemo's gonna have to figure out how to save him. That's all I gotta say.
So she didn't.
There's a real easy way to save him. You just.
No, we're not killing him.
Stop it. She what? What, Aaron?
Did she? She didn't meet Karhala at all.
I didn't meet any of you till we woke up, till our memories kicked in.
Good to know.
So you still have a month missing from your memory, right?
No.
Nari?
No, I had 2 months with him of doing things, going up to the mountain and stuff before he did the Aeltris thing.
And then a month later is when...
A month later, because that's when to go crazier. And then Darian wanted to try to get the Aeltris away from him.
So
I didn't see Darian that night.
Living with you for a month and you didn't even know it.
I wasn't. So
I wasn't necessarily
the castle itself is very big too, so there might have just not been crossover.
He was fighting you guys
because it wasn't like Kanari was sitting at social dinners, events, and stuff. More likely than not.
Sorry, what was the last thing you said, Liz?
Oh, that there might have been. The place is very big. It's like like a Capitol building. So like. Yeah. In essence, you might not have just crossed paths. Maybe she was at the same place too, kind of thing.
Right.
But there was never any of Raoden's trying to get you to cross paths kind of deal. If she was there at all. But and you probably wouldn't have been sitting at any social dinners and stuff like that being held by the household itself because Kanari probably wouldn't be into that.
That's fair. Well, dang.
Well, I was honestly so curious as to whether you guys would like not pull back any memories or try to get them back at all and everything, and then just kill him. Because if you just killed him, that would have been interesting in of itself.
We still will.
Kanari now feel like she has a friend that she has to help. Ugh, I didn't need this.
She has 2 friends.
She has 2 friends. Well, hopefully more friends, but Carholly wants to leave her. It's fine.
Yeah, Carholly's just like,
Carholly has to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Carholly has to leave. Well, she doesn't have to leave you guys. She just has to go do something. You can come if you want
also
to.
Has to do something.
She's assuming you don't want to come with her.
So you're
It's
leaving.
fine.
So
We'll
you
figure that out
can
later.
you can prove her wrong, but she, knowing you guys, doesn't think you'll want to help her out of the goodness of your hearts. She's probably going to ask Inala privately at some point, but she doesn't think either of you would ever
At this
help
point,
her do
Kanari
anything
probably
out of
would.
the goodness of her hearts.
She would.
So she doesn't
just
think that.
Well, it's fine. I'm just saying she
Well,
would.
if you're
but she
gonna
also
abandon
has her
us, I
own
won't.
person to help.
would you say that Kanari relays this information when she wakes up? Which the damage that you took from the Coatl fight, by the way, the Guardians that were holding you back from the memories, you will keep that. That will lower your max HP.
I did not have Carholly's a lot of HP.
Wait, how much did you lose?
I am at.
This is undoable, but it will stay until you guys undo it. So basically, her soul itself was damaged by doing this.
No, I know. How much damage did she take?
I'm at 48 now.
Okay, that's not terrible.
What was it at before?
Worst. 62, I think. 63. Yeah, so.
And you got out of one of them, away from one of them, real nice. So like it could have been worse.
If I had, I should have tried better to. Well, not much I could have done to block it, I guess.
I think both were good choices because I mean, if it passed the save, then you would have had to wait longer to get away from it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay, it's fine. Anyway, Kanari, when she wakes up, she does relay all of it. She does kind of leave it fuzzy about like Zhenyin and him being under a soul curse. She doesn't feel like that's something she is like. She's kind of like, that doesn't reflect well on him. So, but she, I don't know, in her brain, she just doesn't want that. She's kind of like, But she does say that like he wanted to help her get her friend out of the monastery. And so she agreed to, and he was a genuinely nice person, and then all the other stuff. So, yeah. Tell you about the book, tell you about the mountain, tell you about the Aeltress.
So he's got 2 of them.
So there's a spell
That's not good.
that you can double your magical power.
Oh, and lose your mind,
I think you
soul?
missed the part where he went crazy after that.
He didn't go crazy. He's just a dick.
He just went homicidal.
No, he's not a dick. You need to, Nemo, you have to figure out a way to heal him from this, by the way. I don't know how, but figure it out.
You knew him for how long? 2 months? He was just faking it. Like
I am good at reading
people. Get
people.
You to trust. Really?
Yes.
Clearly not. If after that 2 months he just threw you under some spell.
You were there a week. You don't even remember anything about him.
I don't need to know anything about him. Yes.
Listen, if you, Kel's best chance, and he's from Kel, right?
Elfcar.
Oh,
wait. Nemo's?
No.
Nemo's from Kel.
No, I meant Raiden.
Oh, Raiden.
Yeah, Raiden's Elfcar.
I don't know. She doesn't know the countries. She doesn't know geography.
Hey, that's fair.
Wherever Raiden's from, their countries, our whole place's best chance is probably with Raiden. If we get him back to his actual normal self. He's smart, and he actually wants to save the world for saving the world's sake. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to go back to the Dark Ages with those creepy spider things and whatever else is flowing around. Like, there's something bad out there, and I don't want that coming back.
So I get why he got you, because you wanted to help your friend. I get why he got me, because I wanted to save my tribe. Why did he pick Nemo? Nemo's not done anything for the good of anyone, ever.
To be fair,
no offense.
I'm not sure. He got me because he knew that I would have a big stake in the way the future turned out. So I would want to help with that, I guess. But I think he was already weird by the time he got you two. He might have just saw that you were strong and wanted to use you to get the Aeltress back. or whatever. Not ill tobacco. We'll do whatever weird motives he had at that point.
I don't know, but I think he wanted my mother and not me. And it's just she didn't want to come back to Tall. I don't know why she wouldn't want to go save the world again or come back to Tall, because she hasn't been back to her tribe, for that matter, since she left for Tahangeu. But either way, he just got stuck with me, and he figured probably almost as good as the original.
He wasn't wrong.
Fortunately,
Inala, did you tell
her motives?
Inala, did you tell Karhale that her mom was banished from Tall?
I don't think I ever did. I can't remember. No.
Okay, you learned about it tonight, right? I think.
You learned about it in this session. It, like, the history book said that the druid was banished and the cleric was supposed to be banished, but he kind of disappeared before they could do it. The druid's her mom.
Okay, well.
Also, I knew the Aeltress had something to do with his soul, by the way. I wasn't right about what it was, but I knew it had something to do with him going crazy. And you were right about the book. That was crazy. I was like, oh, he does have a book.
See, I told you we shouldn't give it back to him. We should keep it for ourselves.
We should not keep it for ourselves. That's a terrible idea.
We should get him back to his normal good self and then give the gem. Well, that gem just seems like bad. Maybe we should destroy the gem.
Or
maybe that would free his soul.
Destroy it.
Or, okay.
Nemo, he was a genuinely good person before he did this, and now he's crazy and wants to, and is just selfish. You're already selfish. Can you imagine what would happen if you did the same thing?
Yeah, it wouldn't affect me at all because I'm already that way.
No, you would be a
pretty sure
maniac. You'd be the next.
Okay, I'd like to point out that the last time we had an all-powerful
the next Xian Wei?
No, it was like Rudolph Bittler or something. He was just this terrible guy. Wiped out so many people. That would be you. Some history. I don't remember. I didn't care about history.
Rudolph Bittler is definitely accurate.
Okay, yeah, I would like to point out that the last time we had an all-powerful relic, I voted to keep it, and we decided to give it away. Actually, we did not decide to give it away. It was given away without my consent. And now look where we're at. I think we get the Aeltress and keep it.
Well, first of all, it was forcibly taken from us. Second of all,
you gave it away. Don't even.
You didn't talk to Xian Wei.
You didn't have much choice.
It was either I give it to them or they kill you.
I don't care about death.
You probably should.
If we had kept that, we wouldn't have died.
If we had kept that, we would be dead.
No, we would not.
They would have just pulled it off of my dead body. Yeah. And personally, I like my body to be alive.
I also like your body to be alive. It's just a good thing. Did that come off weird? I'm sorry.
It came off weird. Thanks.
We all have this serious conversation, and then she says that, and we all just get quiet and look at her. Like,
I was trying to be positive for once, but anyway, my bad.
I do appreciate it.
The core is giving us a second chance. Your God is giving us a second chance. All of these people are giving us a second chance.
What is the core?
It's
what's the core?
It doesn't matter. The gods.
I think it does. Sorry, what is that?
Fate is lining up for us to have a second chance.
I thought you didn't believe in fate.
Squandering this. I don't care what you believe in. You believe in your gods. You believe in just fate, the core, whatever you believe in.
See, you're saying the core again. You're just not going to explain it. Now I'm going to have to find out. Inala, can you find out what the core is for us?
The core, DM, I don't actually know it by the name of the core, right?
I would say you remember the core, but you don't really remember what it is. It's just that name is there in your mind, but you don't really...
Yeah, no, okay.
I'm not really sure what exactly you're talking about either.
Yeah.
Hey, Anala, you should try to find out what the core is for us because Nemo's not helpful, shockingly
I don't
enough.
care what you believe in. It doesn't matter. It has no effect. Any power that you believe is controlling our lives is leading us towards the Sailtress. We keep it, we control it, we can take care of Raid in whichever way we need to, and we can take care of this ending of the world.
I still don't think the Eltress that corrupted a good man is a good idea for someone like you to have, or for anyone to have, for that
I'm
matter.
not a good man to be corrupted.
And
Yeah,
you
so
want
that
us to
just means you'll
aid
be
you
worse.
in being worse.
So Xian Wei kind of already sucked before he did all the crazy magic stuff, and then he just got worse, and he almost ended the world. Personally, I like the world not ending, so I'm gonna say probably a bad idea to give
Personally,
you
I'd
the
rather have
Eltress.
more power in fighting whatever this power is coming back than less. I'd rather keep the power we can possess than give it away to random strangers who do even more carnage.
We're not giving it away, we're destroying it.
No.
We'll have to figure out a way to do that without killing us in the process, but
we'll figure it out. We've gotten this far. We're gonna figure it out.
it's fair.
So, do you guys contact Hong Wen-jun through I guess that day?
What's the next step here? What we're trying to...
We're trying to bring a toll back.
Okay, how are we going to do that?
I remember the third priority. It's getting the ministry off our backs. We have Atoll, the assassins in the ministry.
Oh yeah.
We need
so
to
the plan with Achelon. Yeah, Merrick will have come to you during your work and everything with the eventually he would have come to you. It would have been like probably a week out or so with a message to his household and everything. But he would have eventually come to you to speak. Although I don't think he would have had any new information for you necessarily, unless you had new questions for him.
I kind of did.
Oh, actually, he would have actually told you that. We can actually do that right now.
For him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should we wrap up what we're doing first?
Yeah, actually, what do you guys want to do though? You guys can make those decisions.
I think maybe because it's evening now. The next day we can see about contacting Hong Wen-jun.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Good consensus. Bringing
Yeah, that works.
Is a good thing.
I mean,
right,
yeah. I guess that's our next step.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If it's all the same to you, I haven't slept in like a week and a half. So I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah, sure. I think the rest of us should probably keep a watch so that way we don't get stabbed in the middle of the night again.
Too soon.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone notice the people following us and attacking us throughout the past couple weeks? Because I've knocked out a few.
You knocked out one on the way upstairs today.
Yeah, just like back there actually. Just pop.
No, I actually haven't noticed anything.
Weak sauce.
Good. I'm glad they don't seem to think you're a target.
I'm kind of offended. Do they not think I'm a threat? I'm very threatening. Look at me. I'm very threatening.
You sound adorable, though. You always talk about potions and medicine and like stuff that just is so warm and affectionate, you know? Like, talk about blood some more. That might get people to be scared of you.
I am one of the fiercest warriors west of the Gan.
I'm sure that means something where you're from.
I'm not adorable.
No. I said you sound adorable. That's what I'm basing this off of, remember? So talk about blood some more. That might help. That's all I'm saying. Blood and guts and liking to punch people.
I do like to punch people.
There you go. Say that louder. Let them hear you. They're probably listening anyway.
There you go. Say it louder. The people listening through the door can hear you.
I'm going to bed. So thank you for punching a hole in my self-esteem. I'm gonna go to bed now.
Ty, what am I doing wrong? I tried to compliment her earlier. She thought that was weird. I tried to tell her to be tough, like give her tips on how to be tougher. Thought that was
honestly
weird. I don't
not really understanding. It is mixed messages to me. I think
what is
something nice and she takes it the wrong way. I don't know. Women,
honestly, women.
He has a point.
I wonder if Anala would think my compliments are better. We'll try it later. We'll see.
Before I was attached to you, the past you also struggled with women.
The past me was a man,
You never
right?
understood. Mm-hmm.
Men.
Actually, let me look up his name. I have it. Was it?
What was his name? I wrote it down
I
somewhere.
think it was Kaor.
Teorin.
They sounded so similar to all the other names that you named people in my.
I'm sorry.
Teorin,
just because
Tawande.
Alish Kalishtar have specific kind of names doesn't mean it's my fault that they seem vaguely similar. And Konotashkoe, the Tari Way, Tawande. You're right.
They all sound the same.
Kaorin is different, okay? Kanari Tai.
Kanari Tai is the most different one.
Wait, what is the old guy's name? I have something different.
Wait,
I'm so confused in this.
Wait, the old guy that you met in Aaron?
No, wait.
Or the guy that's in charge of the
Your dad?
acolyte?
Or
Talon Day is my dad, right?
Charge of the
No, Konotashkoe is your dad.
Who's Talon Day?
Konotashkoe.
Oh, he's the leader
Talon
of the.
Day-
Of the
Talon Day is
Talon Day is the leader of the Adar.
Kaorin is my old.
Your past life.
Past life. Mm-hmm.
Ty's
Wouldn't
past life,
wouldn't it
technically.
be Kay or Ty then?
She went by a different name apparently.
What? That's lore that I didn't know existed.
Sorry, she only told you the first name. I forgot to tell you that part. Or maybe I didn't forget.
Don't give me stuff about Ty. I don't like this. Ty's my safety net. Anyway, continue.
She's your safety net. She can also take over your body whenever she wants to. Anyway, it's okay. Moving on. Yeah, so what are you guys gonna do? You're going to sleep, Karhale?
I'm assuming that I need to talk to Merrick at some point, but I sent him a message, so he's gonna come to me.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
He'll come to you well next day, is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably a time where he had sent a messenger throughout the week that you were working on your potion and everything, and basically that he wasn't available until the end of the next week, so he comes to visit you on the weekend. So come the weekend, he does show up at the White House Inn, and he'll wait until you return or show up, and he'll just be waiting in the little tavern area within the inn itself. And he'll greet you pretty warmly, but more so with apology first, because he'll start off with, "I'm sorry, Karhale," and he'll hand you the letter back.
I told him my name was Enora, just as a side
Oh,
note.
Enora. Okay, yeah.
He didn't want my real
name. Jaskier's MIA. He's been missing ever since the attack on his squadron.
Missing like
zero contact with the military. They're presuming him to be dead because the squad itself, they were transporting apparently a couple of mage-born prisoners, and a group of Shaitan attacked, stole the prisoners, and he disappeared along with them.
So that's either a really good thing or a really bad thing. Really
They
good
are
thing.
presuming him to be dead. He was hit during the attack, and he went down. I think you said something about that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as far as I understand, he's fine because you already knew that, but he hasn't come back to the military.
I didn't think you'd listen to me. Did you contact her at all?
What did you tell him to tell her?
I told him to ask if Jaskier Ven made contact.
Oh, I did contact her. She was busy, by the way, like I was worried that she would be if I contacted her at the wrong moment. But she said, in short, yes, with very little information. She was busy at the time, and I haven't gotten in contact since.
That is the best news I've heard in months. Well, yeah. Man, that's sad that that's the best news I've heard in months.
That your friend is MIA?
Or that he's MIA with them. That means he listened to me. Which I didn't expect him to listen to me. Sorry. Thank you for doing that. I guess I don't need to send the letter after all. I'm actually kind of glad you didn't. Thank you anyways for trying.
Sure.
I'm really
sorry
about
contact the lover boy over Twinning Dreams again. Ask him yourself.
Not a good idea. Last time he kind of told me to leave him alone, so I told you it didn't go well.
I'm sure he didn't mean that.
Neither here nor there. It's not a thing. Not what I was trying to say. I'm really sorry about my lack of tact the other day.
Water under a bridge.
Our friend that...
And it seems like no one overheard our conversation too in depth, so no harm, no foul.
It's just what you said to me about how protecting everyone isn't my responsibility alone. It meant a lot.
Oh yeah.
I understand what it must be like for you, being the premier son and stuff, pressure to measure up and all that. I get it. I won't give you details, but I grew up with an insane amount of pressure to be a leader, to be who everyone expected of me, and I'm probably going to disappoint.
Pretty much sums it up.
I'm probably going to disappoint a lot more people than just Jaskier. I know
you
I
can't
already
please
have.
everyone. Take it from me.
I need you to know you can trust me. I'm not crazy, and I'm not an idiot.
I'll take your word for it then.
Okay, I know this is hardly the place or the time, but this has really been bothering me. You said Twinning Dreams is too personal. What did you mean by that? It's just like...
I mean, it's
like sending a letter.
It's like saying you're married.
Sorry, what?
It's like saying that you guys are together forever, that you've already chosen one another, you know? Like a golden thread situation.
Sorry, what?
Just what I said. Just in essence, you're just. It's like telling them that they are your golden thread. That you'll always find them at the end of the golden thread. You know those old stories. Anyway, I'm just saying that you and me, that's not going on, you know. But you and him, obviously, is.
I have a golden thread to Raiden.
Okay. Oh. How am I doing this again?
Less literal and more metaphoric.
First, I didn't know it was a date. Then I didn't know. This is fine. This is fine. How do I manage to screw everything up? But he didn't leave. That makes a lot of sense.
If it's any consolation, I think the Kellans call it the red thread, and I don't know if the Alethians have a different version of the story, but
I'm not Kellen, if that's any help. That makes a lot of sense why he didn't believe I was real for the first half of the conversation. Okay. That's a bit intense. That's very forward, even for me. This is great. This is fine. I'm gonna process that later.
I completely thought that you were aware of that fact when you told me about it, because you were so open about it too. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's just.
I mean, the only other
level
person
of their relationship at this point.
There is no relationship. He doesn't want anything to do with me.
Okay, maybe where you come from, it doesn't quite mean that, and maybe he should realize that and not, take it for the ramifications that it might be.
This is fine. This is fine. I'm fine. Okay. I had another question. I'm gonna process that later. You seemed a bit impressed or shocked, at least, about who my mother is. Would that lend me any credibility with anyone here? Not anyone specifically, but just in general.
I mean, sure. People will probably freak out. You're a daughter of someone who worked alongside the legendary hero Jezrien, so I mean, sure, yeah. Most people probably.
Is there any situation in which mentioning that would be a bad idea?
I mean, according to the stories, no, I can't see any negative impact. I mean, it might make you too famous. People will be following you and stuff.
Everything I hear about Tall is just too much. All of it is too much. Why? Okay, I'm good. I'm gonna process that later too, I guess.
And here I thought it was a compliment. Okay. Well, if you ever talk to your mom, tell her that the people of Tall appreciate everything she did for them.
I'm sure she knows, but I will. What I was originally going to talk to you about, now that I've gotten all of that out of the way, we're gonna move forward with hopefully meeting with Echelon.
Okay.
And see if we can get this sorted out.
As far as I know, he's staying, and he's gonna give you a general address for the ambassador's mansion in Ere, uptown Ere. And you could try to call upon him there and say it has to do with his son, Patronus. They'll probably let you in. Though, keep in mind, they've been getting a lot of callers with the same phrasing saying that they have information about his son because he put out he had a crier going through town saying that if anyone had information about where his son's gone, that he would pay. So a lot of people have been coming in with like false leads here, like back and forth as far as I've heard. So you're gonna have to prove somehow that you might have more than just average information about the whole situation to get him to see you specifically. Otherwise, you're probably gonna get turned away by the doorman.
So if we could possibly get information on the son's whereabouts, that would possibly give him the motivation to help us.
Quite possibly.
Okay,
he seemed pretty forlorn without his son, as far as the rumors are saying.
Well, that is just another task on a long, long to-do list. That's great. Okay, this is fine. Ask yourself.
I feel like after everything that goes down here, you're gonna need a real long vacation.
Don't think it's in the threads for me.
Our cruise.
The cruise.
They say Kellen cruises are all the rage down in the south.
Yeah, well, Cal sucks. So I'd rather not.
Shot to the heart.
Thank you for
Sure thing. Next time you want to get in contact with me, I prefer you not going to my house. Just get a message to me.
I mean, you did
go ahead and
tell
send
me
it.
To do that.
I know. I just got some weird questions from my dad about the whole situation. He was there when she came to drop the message initially, the doorman. Yeah, it was a whole thing. So next time, just drop the message with my the post, not the post, the patrollers compound.
Sure thing. Okay.
Because it was Anolo who dropped the message initially, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, my dad's just kind of weird about half elves.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't do that myself, because you'd probably be weirder about someone like me.
Probably. It didn't occur to me at the time. But yeah, so just next time, drop it off of the patrollers. They won't have anything to say that they don't already say, so.
Either way, thanks.
Sure thing.
Good
luck, Carly.
I still haven't told him my name.
Every time. Good luck, no name given.
I told him Inora.
Mm-hmm. Though he still knows
that
it's not your actual name because he's the one who asked for it. So, but yeah, okay, cool. Do you guys want to keep going, or do you guys want to wind down for the evening?
I mean, I'm good for a little bit if everybody else is down.
Are we doing it next week?
But not next week because
We
she's
can't.
got her mom's birthday, right?
Oh,
But
why
the
would
next
your
week-
mom have a birthday on
you
such
wanna
a
end it live?
stupid day like February
Sure.
28th?
Your mother has the same birthday.
Oh,
Don't even.
such a stupid birthday.
Do you want to end the live?